Caribbean leadership side. He has been there. He has been to CFU with Mr. Taylor. He has been to CONCACAF with all the Americans and the Mexicans and the Canadians and the Central Americans, and of course, at all the Caribbean nations. He has been to FIFA, inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs, in all the chambers, and he knows the ins and outs. One of the things that I took away from what he said that many are not focusing on, and I don't hear being discussed, is that the countries, once they are a united group, they can rule the roost. They guarantee themselves a place at the table, a strong hand in negotiation, a strong hand in leadership, a strong direction of how the football is played and where they can be. Unlike before, when the Mexicans ran CONCACAF, when the North Americans, through the USA and Canada, ran the CONCACAF, the Caribbean countries were to the back and were up in the helpers' quarters and in the fields picking cotton, while the persons in charge were in charge, had no place, got a half a place, anted up after negotiations and some wheeling and dealing, got to 1.5, got to 2.5, got to 3.5, and that's where Jamaica broke through and got to the World Cup. Thereafter, Trinidad and Tobago broke through and got to the World Cup. Only Haiti got through before on their own steam in the 70s, and the USA also was there in the 1950s, I think. But the lesson to be learned is that once you are united in effort, in what you think, in what you do, and you work together, you can overcome obstacles and you can make steady progress as small nations. That lesson is what he keeps harping on. And he has said that there has been persons in leadership who has not carried along that. He has said that the leadership in the Caribbean has been weak and continue to be weak, and that the best interest of those Caribbean nations are not being looked after by those in charge. Right here in Jamaica, if you look at a similar pattern, it echoes as to what is happening now in the football annals with the power, the struggle, the reorganization, and the disunity amongst groups who have made considerable progress. But now individuals want to go their own way and make different progress. And they have changed direction. And again, the undercutting the disunity has not gotten us to where it was. Let's hope it will. Let's hope it will now. Let's hope that going forward, it will build on that and make a bigger, stronger force. And all the wheeling and dealing and the backbiting will work out for our common good. As we look forward into the world, we see the protests are continuing, not just in the USA, but across the globe. We see substantial changes, modifications, changes of minds, hearts, and policies are being put forward as people open their minds to what they thought were not important things before. And unity, again, is at the heart of it. That where once there's a proper cause that you can look at it, people can unite around it, and people can come to a decision and make progress. That and much more things are on my mind. My mind is ticking today. I have a lot of questions and a lot of situations, but let's go to our callers. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the sports desk. Hello, good afternoon. Not hearing you clearly. Could you repeat again? I'm just finding.
Dreamer.
Hi, Dreamer. Right. It's a little bit sound like a little water in your line. Just getting 2 or 3 sounds from you and not hearing you clear. Go ahead, Dreamer. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Dreamer? Dreamer, if you could try and call us back. Your line not so bossy, and we want to hear every word you're saying so we can respond to you. And the numbers you can call us at, the flow line is 888-991-5527. The digital line is 888-935-5527. Overseas listeners, you can call us at 1-876-968-5005 and 6. The text line You can send us your text messages or WhatsApp messages at 828-0925. We read them every hour, just a little after the half an hour. And we usually have about 2 or 3 slots throughout the program that we go there and read your discussions and have some of those things that you're saying, thinking of doing as we welcome you on the call. Just glancing through some of the headlines in the sports program. MLS, Major League Soccer, North America, ready to return with tournament at Disney World to come soon. And the big headline in the Gleaner says, major changes proposes for local football. Let's go to our callers online. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, am I better now?
Oh, it's Dreamer. Yes, you're much better now, Dreamer. Thanks for calling back.
The controversy pertaining to JFF now.
Which one are the controversies?
But the funds and much money they get from playing a Gold Cup and all him something there.
Okay,
So you couldn't get Jack Warner make him hear an exciting story.
Jack Warner? How you think Jack Warner would give us a different side of the story?
Remember say him know his system and know say money is given for certain things because
yes.
What I have realized over the years, you see, I listen to one man from another program here, Mr. Hyman, an economist.
Yes.
And he keep on complaining about low wages.
Low wages,
Yeah, in our country in general.
That's Ralston Hyman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is reason for low wages. The managers of the companies and right across the country hide the profits of the company from the workers because them and the workers suffer because they don't want to pay them. And that's the example in my right there.
So you're thinking that all the expenses are not being divulged?
Yeah, because
the JFF, through the gents like Mr. Dalton Wint, I think he has outlined, not in the first blush, but the second and third time around, he gave some more information.
He must say something, and then a journalist investigate and say something else. So we need to have some straight clarity now from even the president then.
Mm-hmm.
In order to know what going on, because when I know what is going on, it is far much better. But you have to understand, say, then people have to understand, say, a public office, and you have what they call Access to Information Act. You can't hide them something if a journalist really want to find out that they must go use.
But is anything being hidden, Dreamer? Let me tell you what I heard, and you correct me or add to it. Go ahead. You tell me what you heard.
So I see on that I should say I heard, and nothing for concrete. So that's why I try to say because they hide the information.
No, man, but let's not go to speculation. Tell me what you heard, and I'll add to it what we heard. If there's anybody else who heard or know anything different, they can add to it. But let's be specific. What did you hear him say?
I think on the sports committee, they must say, them get much about $200,000 for each night.
He never said that first. What I heard said first,
they have about $50,000. Yeah.
What I heard said first is that they got only $50,000. And I heard that with a TVJ report that Oral was making a comment that they had only gotten 50 and the coaches' bonuses were not paid because a profit wasn't made. An hour later, Phil had him as a guest, and I think that was for the name of the show. Then I heard more information. Then is what I heard about 150,000 additional that wasn't mentioned before. Then the value went up to $200,000. Then we heard that unless you win and you get over $500,000, then you'd be losing. So what that says to me is that there's an additional loss of 300,000 US dollars, which means that's an next 40 million Jamaican added to the 300 and how much million Jamaican debt that they are owed already. That's what I heard.
Well, me feel comfortable if you're official source and CONCACAF come out and tell you exactly what is happening in order for people have trust. Trust is a problem, you know.
Yes, that is the problem. Trust is the problem.
You can't trust black management. That's the reason why we can't trust black management.
Why is it black management?
And the same thing over and over. For years we live in Jamaica, and the same thing over and over with the management. Them.
Say if a white person had told you the same story, you'd believe it?
Huh?
If a white person told you the same story, you'd believe it?
No, if somebody from CONCACAF come and tell me now, would I believe it?
But the CONCACAF side states that all the expenses are covered.
So how comes them last? If all of them make sense cover, how them lose?
What I heard Mr. Wynn say is that there was costs attached for per diems for everybody, and that went beyond
all right.
any cost that they recovered.
For that, one little quick thing quickly now.
Mm-hmm.
When a footballer leave Jamaica, I see sometimes they say something when they call future future sales in a contract.
A sell-on contract is I think what you're referring to.
I don't know a future sales manager where if you sell him to a club overseas and him get sell for bigger money,
yes,
the club in Jamaica will get some of the proceeds.
Yes, a sell-on. It's a sell-on. Yeah. If you sell him, no. If he moves from that club, you sell him to another club further on.
Right.
They may or may not include a percentage as a sell-on of the second sale. Continue.
All right. The question is now, what happens if him leave from Jamaica on a 4-year contract, and him do the entire 4 years and become a free agent? The sell-on contract finish right there, right?
No, once it's in the contract, when you transfer him, it is binding and authorized under FIFA.
Yeah, but but remember
Dreamer, hold with us. We're going to the break. We'll come right back to you to finish and then go to the other callers.
Paint with Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams, putting more color in your life. The time by Sherwin-Williams is 1:15.
Mommy, the roof is leaking again. I just fixed the roof. Lord, deliver me from this problem now. This what I come out of the cake.
I'm a genie, man. Relax. I come for granted 3 wishes.
3 wishes? I just need 1 wish right now.
1 wish.
I need this roof to be fixed.
Tropical Metal Products, man. The place for you. Call them at 876-765-9444. And them stock a wide variety of roofing and building solutions, man. So check them out, man. So you see, I save your money so I can stay for dinner.
I never cook no genie food today.
Firmino with a flick on, Lallana in front of goal, and Liverpool are level.
To quickly take in free kick from David Silva to Aguero, and the 5th goal is poked in.
Chelsea with an overload, here's Pedro, 2-0 to the Blues, an assist for Eden Hazard.
Here he comes, Marcus Rashford, stuttering run up, lovely penalty.
The EPL is back on June 17 on your number 1 station for sports, KLAS Sports FM 89.
For Sadio Mane, just for a moment, looked like he might get there. He does get there now ahead of Lindelof and fires it in.
We are the champions, my friend.
Sports fans, in these difficult national circumstances, with time on your hands, KLAS, your number 1 sports station, will fill all your sporting needs. KLAS Sports FM 89 will continue our daily high-quality programs. Sports Desk, daily weekdays. Scoreboard, daily weekdays. And Late Edition, daily weekdays. KLAS will now produce 2 specials weekly. Timeout, Wednesdays 9 a.m. to midday, to be repeated on Saturdays. And Memory Lane, Sundays 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We continue our scheduled international offerings daily. KLAS Sports, the home of champions. We never let you down in sport.
Well, could be sunny, and it could be rain.
Rain or shine, be prepared with the weather forecast on KLAS Sports FM 89, weekdays 7:55 a.m. and 12:10 p.m. The weather forecast on KLAS Sports FM 89. Be prepared.
This segment is being brought to you by Just Bet, Jamaica's number 1 sports betting game from Supreme Ventures, offering the best betting odds and the fastest payouts on the market. Just Bet, your game, your passion.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
Okay, so we lost Dreamer there in the break, and Dreamer, just to follow up on the point you made or you were making about this sell-on. If you have a signed contract and a signed agreement with any party for a player who may be transferred internationally or locally, and then a sale further down the line that you both agree that there'll be a percentage that will be given to the initial club or the club who is the original owner who you bought the player from, that can be honored. That is usually included in the contract, placed on record, here at the local football association, on the JFF, through CONCACAF, and on the FIFA transfer matching system, which is the TMS internationally, and that stays for all time, and that will be honored as a legal document and binding. The numbers you can get us at, the flow number is 888-991-5527. The digital number, if you prefer, is 888-935-5527. Overseas listeners, 1-876-968-5005 and 6. Those are the numbers you can get us at. If you're an overseas number, those 2 dedicated lines are just for you, and we welcome your calls, your thoughts on it. The text line that you can get us at is 828-0925. Let's go to our phone lines and welcome our callers. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the Sports Desk.
Mr. Giardini, good day to you, sir.
Good day, Franco. How are you doing?
Bless up, sir. I'm all right, sir. Hanging in there, sir.
Good. Hang tough.
Yes, we catch the station broke down from about 2 o'clock yesterday.
2 o'clock yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, he come back this morning about 8:30.
Oh, where exactly are you? Westmoreland?
Yeah.
Come again, Franco?
St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth here.
Yeah,
where exactly in St. Elizabeth? They're asking because they want to put a finger on it so they can attend to it.
Oh, yes, this morning.
Oh, come again, Franco. Your line. Try once again for us, Franco. Your line coming and going.
You come back about 8:30 this morning.
Yes. No, I was asking where exactly in St. Elizabeth are you? Can you give us a little bit more definition?
Near Santa Cruz.
Near Santa Cruz. Thanks, Franco. All right, you continue now.
But me, yeah, man. Me miss Pine Action phone call yesterday, you know, man, because I didn't want to hear reaction.
Oh, I wasn't listening all of yesterday. What did Pine Action say or didn't say yesterday?
Me don't know.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm saying to you. I missed it. Maybe because I didn't well want to hear because it's like a soap opera and it's like bold and beautiful, young and the days of our lives.
I hear you.
Barbara and them, you know what I mean?
Yes.
We miss this program. Watch them soap opera. But when we catch a high, I get take a 360-degree, not high gate either, low gate.
You call it high gate, low gate?
Switch around, man. When the friend of Pine Action, he might agree with Pine Action all of a sudden.
Oh, he's agreeing with Pine Action.
Yeah, and he never talk about the NFL, man. He don't know nothing about the NFL. He just start watching the NFL. If he will people talk about the NFL, if he leave that alone.
Well, you tell us what you know about the NFL and Kaepernick, Franco.
You know,
okay.
I don't know nothing about Kaepernick. Kaepernick is before my time. You know,
okay.
The NFL. You know what the NFL I gave me a 6 scores and stuff because, you know, I'm not out here.
Okay.
When you used to watch it, that was my favorite sport, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't watch it before. But I talk about Kaepernick because I don't know nothing about Kaepernick. I talk about what I don't know about.
Gotcha.
You understand me?
Yes.
Yeah, because I haven't been following it, but that's why you should I leave alone because I don't know nothing. First it was against what Pine Action said. I catch a little piece of feed. This morning I catch a little piece of feed and he's agreeing with Pine Action. So
okay.
I don't know which side him depend. I really don't care which side him depend either. But like a person keep on the line with them depend, you right then. Switch up. I don't like that.
Okay, Franco, we're still not hearing you and the quality not so hot. You can probably try get us back and see if you get a better line, but the call not going through so well. We're not hearing everything that you're saying. So hopefully you can get us back and get a better line, and hopefully your signal near Santa Cruz in St. Elizabeth will improve. Let's go to one of our other callers in the meantime. Hello, good afternoon.
Mr. Giardini.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is Manis, man. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah, man, not a problem. All right, with the brethren where Franco just speak about tomorrow when Arville and Zidane are on, I will address that.
Okay.
But I want people, if they were able to listen to this caller, his name is Fortis.
Old Fortis.
all Fortis
Yes.
and countrymen about Colin Kaepernick, because it's one thing to have an opinion, and you can hold on to your opinion, even if your opinion is wrong. You can hold it because it is your opinion.
Yes.
Right? But when the facts goes against what you hold on to as opinion, it is prudent and wise of anyone who considers themselves to be intelligent to stand on the facts when it is proven that your opinion is absolutely wrong. All right? And so tomorrow we'll get more facts about this whole Colin Kaepernick thing. Because I hear some of the NFL quarterbacks' names were mentioned, and all of these persons in their comments are taking the position that they are taking now because of what Colin Kaepernick did a few seasons ago on the recent protests. All right? But we will talk because you're on a completely different thing. I want you to give me some information about this utterance. Just give me your take on it, what you believe, what you think, what you have heard about the utterance about this 50,000 US out of the last Gold Cup, and other information proving that the amount that the semi-finalists receive is 200,000 and not 50,000, and so we can try to decipher and understand what is happening with the other $150,000, if it is the case. So I want to hear from you.
The information I've heard, and probably our producer Money can probably pull it up, and I'll read it from what I heard. The reference was from the CONCACAF side, was that each of the countries were given an allocation of 150,000. The 50,000 is a bonus for going to what would then be the top four.
Top four.
Semi-finals. So 50 and 150 becomes 200,000. Simple maths.
Right.
Right. If you get to the final, the
500.
The second team gets 500,000 in total as against 200,000 in total. And if you win, there's $1 million. So from what was said by Jensek Daltonwent is that the Jamaican allocation of costs usually comes up to about 500,000. So unless you that's what he said. So and that's what happened.
Sure that's what Ari says, that over the history of the Gold Cup, when you add up all of the totals from all the Gold Cup Jamaica has gone to.
No man. No
man. For the last, he's saying that for the last Gold Cup.
That's what I think I heard.
The cost associated with it is. Well, I'm sorry, send me a call before the information is.
No, that's fine. But let you and I go on what we hear, because we can be right or wrong.
All right. So if that is the case, that is
okay. Let me read.
Okay.
However, past editions could be a good indication of the amounts that will be awarded. In 2015, champions Mexico received 1 million. Second, third, and fourth place earned respectively 500,000, 200,000, and 150,000.
Right.
Answers what we heard and what we were saying. Quarterfinalists get 125, and 9 to 12 get 100,000. That clarifies it.
Clarifies. So that is what is given up.
That was the 2015 edition. There has been a 2017 edition and a 2019 edition.
Because the 2017 edition, we went to the finals.
The 2017.
Right, we went to the finals.
Right.
We lost the finals
to Mexico.
Right. And I think we got 500,000, and bonuses were because one of the contention after that final was some of the players never even got the bonuses. And there were some discussions about it, I think in 2018, about the bonuses. So because we had gotten 500,000.
Yes.
All right. There was nothing in that time about our expenses being 500,000.
No.
So what I want to know, what has changed, right, when our expenses should be less, because we played at least one game here in Jamaica, if memory serves me right.
Yes, the first time ever. The first time ever.
The first time ever. In fact, the first time outside of Mexico and the United States, and I think
Canada. That's correct.
The Gold Cup has been played. Well, let's say the Gold Cup was played in a Caribbean nation.
That's correct.
All right.
Kingston, Jamaica.
All right. Two other teams played a game as well.
One second. There's a further indication here. However, the 2017 Gold Cup prizes seem to have been similar to 2015, 2017. Runners-up Jamaica was supposed to receive $500,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Good. All right.
At that point, what I'm saying is that...
Sorry, don't say anything more yet. Remember, what I also heard was that the coaches were saying, with a precedent set of everybody sharing, not just the players, coaches, manager, equipment manager, drivers, staff, and I would think executives of the JFF shared in that 500,000.
500,000. All right. And
so if that precedent is set, then now in 2019, when they did well again, are expected to be rewarded, because remember, coaches can be fired or dismissed if you don't perform.
All right. No, I don't have a problem with that. Even if they said, listen, we cannot reward you the same way in 2019 as we did in 2017 because we received less money.
Yes.
It is the other side of the books that I have a problem with.
Which one? You have a minute.
What would have caused the JFF to spend or accumulate 500,000 in expenses for this edition of the Gold Cup when all your travel, ground travel, accommodation, meals have always been provided by CONCACAF, are the planners of the Gold Cup for the Gold Cup? What are the additional costs?
What the GenSec said, what I heard the GenSec say was that per diems and payments to players.
Per diem, but the per diem has not changed from $100.
So don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you what I heard.
So let's calculate. So that 40 persons went. Remember, one of the games were played, and they got what, $100 a day?
Man is man. We're going to leave it here because we're up against the break, and we'll have great name after.
All right.
And next time we'll follow up. Yeah. All right. Thanks. We go to the break.
Visit Acorn Sales Auto at Lot 53 West Stradeway, Portmore Town Centre, or call 876-333-5555 for quality cars at competitive prices. The time brought to you by Acorn Sales Auto is 1:30.
Home is where the heart is. Let Dunn's Fine Furniture and Decor warm your home and your heart with our beautiful lighting and home decor items. Visit 59 3/4 Red Hills Road, Kingston 10, or call 754-2921. The temperature by Dunn's Fine Furniture and Decor is
31 degrees Celsius in New Kingston.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Polyflex, Fastest Group of Companies, D'Angelo Auto Spares and Accessories Limited, and EdgeCamp.
Sir Vivian Richards has been voted as English county cricket's greatest overseas player by BBC Sport users. He took 43.2% of the final vote, finishing ahead of another former West Indies player, Clive Lloyd, 9.2%, and ex-New Zealand all-rounder Sir Richard Hadley, 8.5%. Richards, now 68 years old, represented Somerset and Glamorgan in the English domestic game and was named as the best overseas player at both counties, and BBC Sport ran the votes for each individual county side in May. The 17 county winners then went through to the overall vote. The final result was posted earlier this morning. That's all the time we have for your sports in a minute.
KLAS Sports FM 89 has just presented Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Polyflex, the home of foam since 1982, a member of the Morgans Group. Fastest Group of Companies, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people. Visit us at 77 to 79 Malines Road, 3 Cottage Road, 18 Fairview, Montego Bay, and 35 Ward Avenue, Mandeville. D'Angelo Auto Spares and Accessories Limited at 20 Balmoral Avenue, Kingston 10, and shop number 10, 1A Chapelton Road, Maypen, and EdgeCamp for people who dream in color. This segment is being brought to you by Just Bet, Jamaica's #1 sports betting game from Supreme Ventures, offering the best betting odds and the fastest payouts on the market. Just Bet, your game, your passion. Are you prepared? June 1 to November 30 is the Atlantic hurricane season, and it's very important for you to take precautions. Join KLAS Sports FM 89 every day at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 4 p.m. as we present hurricane tips. Don't get caught off guard. Be sure to listen and make the right move this hurricane season.
Hurricane Tips is sponsored by
Chlorado Bleach. The ultimate clean is Chlorado Clean.
You're listening to KLES Sports FM 89, your number one sports radio station, the rhythm of the people.
KLAS Sports FM 89, powered by ESPN, now brings you Just Bet Winner's Edge, where we take a look at some of the top sporting events and betting odds on the Just Bet Sports Betting program and show you how to bet and win big with Just Bet. Presented by Just Bet, Jamaica's number one sports betting game from Supreme Ventures, offering the best betting odds and the fastest payouts on the market. Just Bet, your game, your passion.
Once we hear that jingle, we know that there's a lot of cash to be had. We know there's a lot of offer on hand. And we know that the sporting world is opening back to a new normal. Welcome, Mr. Jesse Blake, and tell us what's on offer this afternoon on the Just Bet Winner's Edge. Not hearing you, Jesse.
You know, we have
yes,
we have
hearing
some more. You hearing me?
Hearing you now, yes.
Okay, great. Now, of course, we do welcome the return of football in Italy. Of course, the Serie A returns come June 20, but there's some Italian football matters that we'll get to. But let's start off in the German Bundesliga, shall we?
And Jesse, the Spanish league has a game at 3:00 this afternoon. So
well, there you go.
We're opening. But continue.
No, here it is that we have Bundesliga action to get to as well. And starting off today's show, of course, I want to look at the clash between Fortuna Düsseldorf. They'll be hosting Borussia Dortmund Saturday at 8:30 in the morning local time. Here it is that Düsseldorf, they're in the midst of a battle to beat the drop this season in the Bundesliga. They're currently in the relegation playoff spot. Düsseldorf 3 points from safety, 3 points ahead of 17th place Werder Bremen. Yes, wow, not used to seeing them so far down the Bundesliga ladder. So, you know, for Düsseldorf, if they beat Borussia Dortmund, that would be a massive win for them.
Yes.
Now, while they have won just for the last 8 league outings, they've suffered just 1 defeat in the run. So, of course, that means they've had a lot of matches that have ended in a draw, which has not helped their chances too much of moving up the ladder. Meanwhile, Dortmund, they head into this last 7 points clear of leaders Bayern Munich with just 4 league matches remaining. Dortmund's recent away form pretty strong. They've won 7 of the last 9 away games in the Bundesliga, including winning their last 4 matches on the road in the top flight. No wonder they're so heavily favored to win this game at $1.40 via the Just Bet final result bet option. That just simply means straight up which team will win or which result you'll get in this game. Now, of course, Düsseldorf, they will be the underdog. Enticing odds, if you're in it for the money, $7.80 on Fortuna Düsseldorf. The draw attracts odds of $5.40. Always want to remind folks of the correct score betting option that gives you the best chance to make a lot of money for your betting dollar. Of course, when you visit justbetja.com, whether on your laptop or your mobile phone, or if you go to a JustBet location near you, you can find the myriad of correct score bets that you can place with us at JustBet. Of course, we pointed to some of the likely options, including if it's Borussia Dortmund 3-0, that correct score pays $4,300 with a $500 bet. If it's a 3-1 Borussia Dortmund victory, well, that would pay $4,700 in winnings with a $500 effort. And if it's Borussia Dortmund all the way up there by 4-0, a $500 bet pays $7,000 in winnings. For the underdog, the home team, Fortuna Düsseldorf, if they win by 2-1, a $500 bet pays $10,000 in winnings. If it's Düsseldorf by a 0-0, pays a bit better, $11,000 in winnings with a $500 bet. And if it's Düsseldorf by the upset special, 2-0, a $500 bet nets you $25,000 in winnings.
but I don't think Dortmund will be in the mood to drop any points for this matchup. I'm taking them to win by 3-0. Make it $4,300 with a $500 bet. Still much more lucrative than the final result bet option on Borussia Dortmund at $1.40.
I like your choice. I like your scoreline, and I'm working with you. Let's continue in the German Bundesliga, where Bayern Munich welcomes Borussia Mönchengladbach Saturday, 11:30 a.m. local time.
If you take the recent form of Bayern Munich, you think they would be just on a canter to win this match. They are indeed looking heavily favored to do so as well, according to the Just Bet odds. They attract odds of $1.37. Does Bayern Munich to win this game? The fourth place Borussia Mönchengladbach, they are at odds of $7.80, and the draw attracts odds of make it $5.80 to win this game. Now let's look at the correct score betting options, shall we? Because here it is that for this game, if it is that Bayern Munich wins by a correct score of 3-0, a $500 bet would pay $4,600 in winnings. Now, if it's Bayern Munich by 4-1, a $500 bet pays $6,500. And if it's Bayern Munich by 4-2, a $500 bet pays $13,000 in winnings. For Borussia Mönchengladbach, correct score options include a 2-1 victory. That would pay $10,000 in winnings with a $500 bet. If it's Gladbach by only a 0-0, it pays better. $14,000 in winnings with a $500 bet. And if it's Borussia Mönchengladbach by the upset special of 2-0, a $500 bet pays $25,000 in winnings. Here it is that indeed it's Bayern Munich, the favored one on paper, beating Leverkusen on a canter last game. They beat Eintracht Frankfurt in the German Cup action yesterday by 2-1. Meanwhile, Gladbach will be looking to bounce back after being beaten 1-0 by Freiburg last weekend. Now, coach, here's the thing. No Robert Lewandowski for Bayern Munich tomorrow. He's leading the scoring in the Bundesliga. He has 30 goals.
Yep.
Thomas Muller, who's come on very strong since football has returned in Germany, also will not be back for Hansi Flick and the team from Bayern Munich. Therefore, I'm taking Borussia Mönchengladbach to win by 1-0. $14,000 in winnings with a $500 bet. Going with the underdog, Borussia Mönchengladbach as well, by the final result bet option at all the way out there, $7.80.
All right. I can see why you put your eggs into that upset basket with the main goal scorer, the 31-year-old hot Lewandowski scoring at will, and the main supplier in assists, Muller, also not there. I'll stay with the draw. I'll stay in the middle of the park there. The third one in the Coppa Italia semifinal, Napoli goes up against Inter Milan Saturday, 2:45 p.m. local time, Jess.
Well, here it is, Napoli. They'll be at home for this encounter. They went on the road in the first leg and beat Inter Milan at San Siro by 1-0. Napoli, they've triumphed in the Coppa Italia 5 times in their history. Last time they did it, 2013-14 campaign. They were knocked out, though, by AC Milan in last year's quarterfinal stage. Inter's run also ended in the quarterfinals last year, knocked out by eventual champions Lazio on penalties. Inter, they're on course to qualify for the Champions League once again. They're third in Serie A. And here it is that Antonio Conte, the manager for Inter, witnessed his side advance for the last 16 of the Europa League just before play was halted. We're back to playing. And here it is that Inter, they have a lot of business to handle if they want to progress to the final. They're favored to win this match, though, at $2.55 by the Just Bet final result bet option. Napoli, the underdog, at home, $2.70. The draw attracts odds of $3.40. Correct score time, because if it's Napoli winning by 2-0, a $500 bet pays $5,500 in winnings. If it's Napoli by 3-1, it pays better. $9,000 in winnings with a $500 effort. And if it's Napoli in a high-scoring encounter, winning by 3-2, a $500 bet pays $12,500 in winnings. For the Nezarazu, Inter Milan, if they win by 1-0, a $500 bet pays $3,500 in winnings. If it's Inter by 2-1, pays better $3,800 with a $500 bet. And if it's Inter Milan by 2-0, a $500 bet pays $5,000 in winnings. Liking what I'm seeing from Gennaro Gattuso and his team. Napoli for me, 3-2. $12,500 in winnings with a $500 bet. Napoli at home, taking them to win as well by the final result score option at $1 or make it $2.70.
All right, so you have Gattuso's Napoli. You have Gladbach to upset. And in the first go-around, you have the favored Borussia Dortmund to get the better in your triple there, Jesse Blake. Let's see how those play out. Let's see how all your fans, supporters, and those who enjoy and participate in the Just Bet Winners Bet get in the game, and hopefully everybody comes out winning. Thank you, Jesse Blake.
Enjoy the games with your coach. All the very best to you, your team, and the listeners from all of us at Just Bet. Have a great and safe weekend. Catch you next week.
Bye.
That was the Just Bet Winner's Edge on KLAS Sports FM 89, powered by ESPN, presented by Just Bet, Jamaica's #1 sports betting game from Supreme Ventures, offering the best betting odds and the fastest payouts on the market. Just Bet, your game, your passion. For more information, visit justbetja.com.
The Saturday Night Alternative on KLS Sports FM 89 offers the best in vintage music from the 1950s through to the 1980s, both local and foreign, interspersed with short historical data. Join me, your host, Roy Black, every Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 12 midnight for this unique show, unmatched anywhere in Jamaican radio. The Spotlight Hour at 9 p.m. seeks to portray an artist or a particular mood by a verbal and musical presentation. Saturday Night Alternative, 6:30 p.m. on KLS Sports FM 89. Be sure to join us.
Man, sports mash up this year. Me sorry say the Olympics not on this year. Boy, all the excitement gone.
No, man, don't worry. You know hear about KLAS Cyber Olympics 2020, July 24 to August 9.
That's right. It's KLAS Cyber Olympics 2020. Our expert team, using 2019 performances, will select the various medalists in track and field events. 32 hours of flashbacks and informative discussions with Jamaica's best track and field experts. Who will dominate the sprints? You can participate and make your selections. Call or text each day to give your predictions and win big. KLAS Cyber Olympics 2020. Innovative sports coverage as only KLAS can. Cyber Olympics 2020 on your #1 sports radio station.
This segment is being brought to you by Just Bet, Jamaica's #1 sports betting game from Supreme Ventures, offering the best betting odds and the fastest payouts on the market. Just Bet, your game, your passion.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
All right, so we're on a terrific Thursday afternoon here on the Sports Desk, and the numbers you can get us at the flow line, 888-991-5527. The digital line, 888-935-5527. Our overseas listeners, the numbers that are selected specially for you, 1-876-968-5005 and 6. And the text line is 828-0925. That you can send in your WhatsApp messages, and we read them every hour on the half an hour here on the Sports Desk. So let's have your calls, let's have your ideas. And man is man, they're just finishing the last segment before we went to the Just Bet Winner's Edge, looking closely as many persons are taking a more active interest in the sporting, taking the sporting people taking a more active interest, not just in their sporting life, but in their life, how they have been treated. We see statues all around the world, in North America and in England in particular, of slave owners, slave traders, or persons rather, who have been associated with what is seen as racism or the slave trade. Amongst them, in about 3 different cities, is the name of Christopher Columbus, closely associated with the Jamaican discovery. And our Arawaks and Tainos and those who were here have been put aside. There's a level of consciousness that is sweeping the world in sports, outside of sports, and people have to be much more conscious. The big headline on the front page of today's Gleaner says, major changes proposed for local football. And it has the heading under the signature of Livingston Scott that says the JFF and parish football administrators are currently discussing a game-changing proposal that could transform the nation's domestic football structure. This discussion has been going on from last year, has been in conjunction with CONCACAF, has been in conjunction with the JFF, has been discussed at length, in depth from last preseason inside the PLC, and it's going further. The main thing in the second paragraph here says teams in the top flight Premier League are moving from 12 to 14. That's not what I saw in the document that was released. It said 12. And it says further in this article, having a second-tier competition of 16 teams. That's not what I saw. I saw 18. Let's go to the phone calls and let's have more discussions on that and other things in the sporting arena. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the sports desk.
Franco best.
Franco, now you sound better.
It's good.
Yeah, man.
Good. I'm not going to waste my credit to talk about Lowgate. Lowgate can deal with what him I deal with. When I said Mr. Jerry Dean, I agree with the way the sport through local football, and I agree with it, you know.
You agreed with it?
The rest of the whole world should suspend them thing. I don't agree with England or whoever else is doing it. Spain, Germany, none of them. I don't agree with it.
We lost a little bit of what you said. You don't agree with England and France and Germany?
Don't care who it is.
Sorry, we're not hearing you clearly, Franco. Why you don't agree with them and you agreed with the local one?
I'm going against Mr. Jerry Dean, you hear me now?
Hearing you now.
You hear me? I said, I don't agree with none of them. None of them I don't agree with.
Oh, you don't agree with any of them?
We should cancel everything. Liverpool, if they win, all that stuff. The NBA, all that stuff.
Franco, we're going to ask you to try back once again. Your call still being interrupted, and we want to hear you clearly here. So try back again. Let's go to the next call, and you try back first, Franco. Thanks. Hello. Good afternoon. You're on the sports desk.
Sir Clyde, how you doing, man?
Not too bad.
You hearing me loud and clear?
Hearing you loud and hearing you clearly.
Yeah, man. Apparently there's a problem with the phone line. I noticed from the other day several persons having issues.
Yeah, so it goes.
All right. First, I want to big up my brethren. There's a brethren on my link up yesterday. Named Babai. Walk him up in the street. Ardent listener.
Name what?
Babai.
Babai.
Yeah. Picture man in Mobile.
Okay.
All right. Big up yourself, my brethren. The ardent listener to the show. Big up my brethren, E.T. Seeing on the crew. Scott Arthur. 9 Churchill Avenue in Mobile. I want to address a topical discussion that has been happening, Sir Clyde. It's an argument being posited by my brethren, Pine Action. I said a few things about it yesterday, but I was a little rushed.
Okay.
So I want to kind of spend the entirety of my call today.
Go right ahead.
On the thing. All right. I'm hearing what Pine Action is saying about Kaepernick not choosing to protest, or choosing to stage his protest after he lost his starting spot in the NFL. I mean, people like Highgate, I take it on. I disagree with it completely. When I researched Kaepernick, this is a youth who has been interested into activism from his days of high school, actually.
Yes.
Going into college, and throughout his early days at the NFL, He was into activism, maybe not on the nature of kneeling as he did in 2016, but he has been there about tweeting and making Facebook posts about issues, topical issues of affecting the black community. But let us even step back. If I would choose to agree with Fine Action that Kaepernick did nothing before he lost his starting job, who are we to judge a man as to when he can get his reckoning to do so? You're a Christian man, right, Clyde?
Generally, believe in right as against wrong.
All right. Let me go to the Bible.
Profess to be a Christian.
There was a virgin of the Bible named Paul. Before that, he was Saul.
Yes.
And the Bible teaches this is a man who used to persecute Christians before he got an awakening, a reckoning.
Yes.
And changed his life, and he's gone down in history as one of the greatest exponents or preachers of Christianity. Actually, most of the book of the New Testament is written by this man. So who are we now for judge a man? So let us say, and even right down, let me say me even agree with Fine Action that it took Kaepernick losing his starting position for him to get this awakening. Let us not judge a man for that. Let us look at what the man did, what his actions resulted in, the persecution that he faced, and how he had to come through that, and even amidst that, found it in his heart and in his pocket to continue the cause, donating to black causes in America and overseas.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think we should be critical of anybody in this time. We should be critical of the other black NFL players who are just finding it now fit when the dance is now ram, so to speak, and everybody's at the party now to come now and try to raise their voices. We were there when Kaepernick was being persecuted and kneeling. They should have stood, as a matter of fact, in this case, they should have knelt with Kaepernick in 2016. See, this is a league that is 75% black.
Yes.
See, and these black issues that Kaepernick has been advocating for. Yes. Freddie Gray was killed by the police in 2015.
Yes.
Philando Castillo was shot in his car with his woman beside him and his child in the backseat by white police.
Yes.
A man who had his arms in the car declared that he had his gun and it was in the pocket, the glove compartment. And these are the issues that Kaepernick highlighted that he was kneeling for.
Yes.
And he got very little support from other black NFL players.
But he got little support from everybody.
From everyone, and now
from the owners, from the supporters, from the government. He got persecution, really.
Persecution from the president himself.
Yes.
Sir Clyde. See, now that it has become now topical. See, everybody in the world, our kings, queens, chief, everybody is now kneeling.
Yes.
See, when this is the man who made this popular,
yes,
got persecuted for it. How can somebody now stand up with any clear conscience and speak against this man?
Yeah.
My virgin Fine Action, your timing wrong, my virgin. You said this last year, as I said, we listened, saying, but no, your timing right now is off. You choose to come to the party right now when the gates are closed, and you're time for trying. If you even had something, I'm going to say Kaepernick did something in the league that made him unpopular with you, or you never find favor with him. At this moment in history, and at this point where the man is going to get his glory, you should keep your mouth shut, my brethren. Now another time to speak up. See, as I said to you, and I said it the other day, Colin Kaepernick's name will go up alongside the great advocates of civil rights in America.
Well,
Rosa Parks,
yes,
along with some of the other greats.
Well, we may have overlooked or we may have forgotten, Pioneer, the 1968 Olympics?
Yes. I mentioned them there. Dan Carlos. Yes.
With the 400-meter runners and
the
raising of the
it was the 200. It was the 200. It was 200 meters. Tommy Smith and John Carlos.
That's correct. And
I mentioned their names already.
That's correct.
Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I mean, many persons looked at that was just after the civil rights movements and Black America was more conscious at that time, and they got scathing responses both there after the Olympics when they went home and others. We had Jamaicans there as well.
Yeah, man. I think that's what it is.
And at school and college and interact with them.
Billy Miller, Lennox Billy Miller. And
that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, and look how favorable, Sir Clyde, history has remembered those gentlemen.
Yes.
Those gentlemen's names are now up in lights. And I suggest that Colin Kaepernick, this time in history, will be remembered. Colin Kaepernick's name will be significant with any mention of this particular time in history.
But it has gone so much past that, and good that you mentioned those pioneers, and it has sort of awakened the world from a deep slumber that we still spit on racism in football. We hear Dwight York and others start to mention, as Raheem Sterling and others start to mention that the blacks aren't even given a chance to move from being entertainers on the field to be managers, coaches, or administrators. They go no further, while others can. We see all the sports people coming out. We see all the nations coming out in unison. Is not somebody prompting people to come out. People have started to think and awaken their conscience.
It is a time of awakening in the world, Circle.
Yes.
And a lot of those walls and obstacles that stood in the way of a lot of black issues are now falling. We are seeing in America now where there are even some of the Confederate flag is being banned from certain public spaces.
Yeah.
Even a space like NASCAR, which is a predominantly white and southern sport,
right,
where the Confederate flag was flown with pride by white racists in America.
Yes.
The NASCAR came out and they are now banning the Confederate flag from being flown at any NASCAR event.
I noticed that.
And we are seeing across the world, we are, as I said, walls of racism that were once thought to be insurmountable are now coming down, little by little. And I dare to say, Sir Clive, we'll start seeing those in football in Europe.
Definitely. And those of us in leadership positions, best stop making decisions on behalf of everybody with their own conscience and check with the other people. Talk to the players, talk to the coaches, talk to the managers, talk to the people on the ground, because there are different levels that people tend to disregard. They are the leaders and they make decisions for everybody, but they don't consult anybody. So the decisions that are being made reflects your opinion, as we see in the sports here today in Jamaica, as well as across the world. And then when you see the players on the ground, they're kneeling, they're acting, and they're rebelling as against the middle ground. But we look at that. Thanks for that, Pioneer. We're going to the break, and we'll come back with our first musical selection on the Sports Desk.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents a health alert.
Stay informed and follow advice given by your healthcare provider. Stay informed on the latest developments about COVID-19. Follow advice given by your healthcare provider, your national and local public health authority, or your employer on how to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. National and local authorities will have the most up-to-date information on whether COVID-19 is spreading in your area. They are best placed to advise on what people in your area should be doing to protect themselves.
KLAS Sports FM 89 has just presented a health alert.
The preceding segment was brought to you courtesy of Just Bet, Jamaica's #1 sports betting game from Supreme Ventures, offering the best betting odds and the fastest payouts on the market. Just Bet, your game, your passion.
Sports fans, in these difficult national circumstances, with time on your hands, KLAS, your #1 sports station, will fill all your sporting needs. KLAS Sports FM 89 will continue our daily high-quality programs. Sports Desk, daily weekdays. Scoreboard, daily weekdays. And Late Edition, daily weekdays. KLAS will now produce 2 specials weekly. Timeout, Wednesdays 9 a.m. to midday, to be repeated on Saturdays. And Memory Lane, Sundays 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We continue our scheduled international offerings daily. KLAS Sports, the home of champions. We never let you down in sport.
The Saturday Night Alternative on KLAS Sports FM 89 offers the best in vintage music from the 1950s through to the 1980s, both local and foreign, interspersed with short historical data. Join me, your host, Roy Black, every Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 12 midnight for this unique show, unmatched anywhere in Jamaican radio. The Spotlight Hour at 9 p.m. seeks to portray an artist or a particular mood by a verbal and musical presentation. Saturday Night Alternative, 6:30 p.m. on KLAS Sports FM 89. Be sure to join us.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call and talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
All right, just about this time, we usually have the first of two in our musical selection compiled by Cat through sponsors Edge Campaign for people who dream in color, Smart Post Limited, Shop Smart, Ship Smart. Visit Smart Post Gym, K Party Rental, serving your kids our joy. Very amazing products. VAP, Pure Foods. If it's pure, we want more. And Express Fitness, your goal, our mission. The first in two is by Mr. Festival himself, Eric Donaldson. It's his birthday today. Cherry O Baby.
Cherry, oh, baby. Don't you know I'm in love with you? If you don't believe I do, what more you left for me to do? Look how long I've been waiting for you to come right in. And now that we are together, please make all my joys come over. Oh, 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 cherry, oh, baby. Don't you know I'm in love with you? If you don't believe I do, then why don't you try me? I will never let you down. I will never make you wear no frown. If you say that you love me madly, oh babe, I will accept you gladly. Oh, 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 Cheerio, baby, Cheerio, baby, Cheerio, baby, yeah, Cheerio, baby. Don't you know I'm in love with you? If you don't believe I do, then why don't you try me? I will never let you down. I will never make you wear no frown. If you say that you love me madly, I will accept you gladly. Oh, 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 oh. Cheerio, baby. Don't you know I'm in need?
The one and only Mr. Festival himself, Cherry O Baby, Eric Donaldson. He celebrates his birthday today, and good to see they're recreating and trying to bring back some promotion and things into the festival contest. That's the first in two by our compiler, Mr. Cat, and for sponsors, Edge Campaign for people who dream in color, Smart Post Limited, Shop Smart, Ship Smart. Visit smartpostgm.com. Bouncers by K Party Rental, serving your kids our joy. Very amazing products. VAP, Pure Foods. If it's pure, we want more. And Express Fitness, your goal, our mission. Cherry O Baby by Eric Donaldson. And we go to our first in this section for our text messages. And it's by sponsors Hawkeye Electronic Security, securing what matters most.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
It's now time for text messages on the sports desk.
All right, so the first one here is from Ricardo Porcius of Glengulf. Clyde, it would be for the West Indies to beat England in their hometown after so many years if they do. Yes, it would be. I think after something like 30 years or 30-something years, it would be a wonderful experience if we could strike that mark and win the series as well. The second one here says, this is not the first restructuring proposed by the JFF Technical Committee. No, it's not. The last one was when Howard McIntosh was chairman of the JFF Technical Committee. I also was on that JFF Technical Committee at that time. I resigned. Would be good to hear from him, as now he's CONCACAF manager, Portmore principal, or he's referring to the current post that Howard McIntosh holds in CONCACAF and with Portmore United. He could also comment on Jack Warner's interview, which is relevant. I can tell you as a fact, Howard McIntosh does not want to respond to Jack Warner's interview. I spoke to him last week directly. He had no comment on that. But I could speak to Howie on the other matter. Sure, he would like to share his knowledge and experience that he has had. I'll try and get him if I can. This is Preach Brother Pioneer. This person is saying, okay, Paul wrote 13 of the 26 books in the New Testament. And to add to that, he should be praising what Colin did and stop questioning the timing of it. We can all sound silly like him and ask why Bob Marley did not sing all those songs that made him great until after he met Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer. Why Marcus Garvey never started his Black Star Liner movement until he went to the United States. Maybe he just wanted to piggyback on the others and saw from that his green card. Pine Action, stop your foolishness now. Please, I'm begging you. You are once a half decent caller. So that is from, I think, Badger the Great, making those comments there in our WhatsApp messages. Any more for this section? Or we go to the, okay, another one here. Good day. Good day, Clyde. Piney may very well be correct as it relates to his position on Kaepernick. The problem is, though, unless Piney has clairvoyant or telepathic ability, there is no way for him to be absolutely sure that Cap is riding on the back of Black Lives Matters, of the Black Lives Matters slogan for his own benefit. And this is coming from Billy. So take the point that you're making. Piney is the only one who could go there. Let's go back to our callers. And that was our text messages from sponsors, Archive Electronic Security, securing what matters most. So we go back to our callers. Let's go to our callers. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the Thursday afternoon edition of the Sports Desk.
New York, New York.
Hi, Diego. What's up?
Well, listen, by an action, you should praise Kaepernick. And that's the problem I have with Jamaicans, you know. And it's tend to be with Jamaicans. Because you can talk anything and give your opinion even against the president in America.
Mm-hmm.
The Pine Action don't want to praise Kaepernick. Why not to?
There you go. We lost you. I didn't hear the last thing you said. You said.
If Pine doesn't want to praise Kaepernick, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. Okay. We lost the last part of what you said there. Uh-huh.
Suppose Pine Action is an Uncle Tom. Suppose he's a roast breadfruit. He still has a right to his opinion.
That's correct. Everyone has.
So I understand. Yeah, I understand. Well, if the man say he must praise Kaepernick, suppose he knows something we don't know. I suppose, as I said, now this man is a roast breadfruit and Uncle Tom who hates himself as a black man. No black people hate themselves, you know, descendants of slaves. My grandmother told me that. That's why some of them bleach. When I'm looking at the mirror, them think the black skin is ugly. So them bleach it. But you for them choice, right, Clyde?
That's their choice. Right or wrong.
So them want to hate them black skin. And them want to love Donald Trump who tell us he hate black people and them choose to love him. For them choice.
Sad but true.
No, yeah, man. It's opinion. Pine Action, do your thing, man. Your opinion. Talk radio. No. Clyde, you're the man where you don't just... Sometimes I hear you talk and you say a lot, but I don't... It's like you're not saying nothing. What is your criticism of the GFF? What are you critical of the GFF?
In particular, what? Generally?
What criticism do you have of the GFF right now, currently?
Oh, right now, currently. My criticism of the JFF at the moment, and I referred to it earlier and refer to it often, as I think is what you're trying to say, is that I think that if you're gonna make a decision in terms of ruling on the Premier League, that I think it was rushed, and I'm sure you have heard me say that before. Is that what you're asking me about?
But they haven't made a decision. They said
no, man, they have. They've called it null and void. They've called it null and void. That is clear.
Maybe I'm wrong now. I thought you talked about the tier 1, tier 2. What is null and void?
I you haven't heard my opinion on that as yet. I was just reading from.
What's null and void? Okay, what's null and void? Indicate what's null and void.
Oh, they have called the season for the rest of this season in football null and void.
Opinion on that long time.
Correct. So what are you asking me about specifically?
What other criticism you have about them?
I mean,
don't say you disagree with them, but
right. So,
no, I'm going past that. You don't
so have I. So have I. So I don't have a specific criticism of them at the moment. I've said it. I've also said, Diego, in this sequence of the process to what they got to that decision that President Mike Ricketts made allowed, that there was the sequence of doing it should have been more open, should have been with everybody. But Diego, hold a second with us. We're going to the break and we'll come right back to you.
The JSC Group, Jamaica Stock Exchange, Jamaica Central Securities Depository Limited, and JCSD Trustee Services, providing a fair, efficient, and transparent stock market for over 45 years. The time by the Jamaica Stock Exchange Group is 2:15.
Tracy, who you go give on now?
You're too fast. Hey, me I got Jotex now for buy up my sugar bun, wine slice, bulla, coffee strip, and marble cake, plus some raisin bread, banana cake, and the best rock cake for the pitney them.
Me can't get some?
No, go buy your own. Hey!
Jotex Bakery, visit 20 Gold Street, Kingston, or call 922-5768. Open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Delivery island-wide. It's bakery, so nice, so right.
Conditions apply.
When you don't want to lose, you always choose Yummy Half and Half, but now you've got the best of both. Don't get confused. Yummy Half and Half, twice the flavor, twice the fun, twice the choice for everyone. Now you got the best of both. Yummy Half and Half.
Yummy Half and Half. Half vanilla cake, half chocolate cake. Twice as nice.
Twice the flavor, twice the fun, twice the choice for everyone. The best of both worlds. Yummy Half and Half.
You're listening to KLES Sports FM 89, your number one sports radio station, the rhythm of the people.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLES Sports FM 89.
So we're back on the terrific Thursday afternoon edition of The Sports Desk. We have Diego online. Yes, Diego, you and I were talking about, I think you said the JFF.
Yeah, so other than the null and void, you have no other problems with the JFF?
No, I have my opinions on anything and everything in sports. I may disagree with something that they say or they do or a person within the JFF. What exactly are you asking me, Diego?
I'm asking you, other than the null and void, what other problem do you have with the JFF?
But
you don't say about problem with the null and void. Anything else?
But I told you how they got to the opinion and how they got to the decision and the history they have of going around the corner. You want to hear the answer, Digos? You want to hear the answer?
I get you.
But
is there anything else that you have a problem with?
The issues on the table that the JFF are included now are the major change in proposed football. If you want me to discuss that, we will. As I've discussed earlier with what Dalton Wynn had said with Mindsman. What exactly you want me to discuss, Diego? I don't generally have a problem with JFF.
Do you have any other problem with decisions made by JFF other than the null and void? Yes or no?
I may, but I don't know what exactly you ask me about, Diego. It's not a policy that everything JFF says I agree with or disagree with.
Just telling me what you disagree with. We know about the null and void. Anything else?
Nothing currently. They are going through some major changes proposed football. I will share my views on all of those as we go through that. What are your views on the major changes?
I want to know about if you have a problem. So you say we can always share views. No,
yeah, man.
Let me get back to the PLCA now. Is it true now?
Coming to the callers.
Is the PLC still involved with the Red Stripe Premier League?
Well, everything is null and void. There's a PLC meeting later this afternoon.
The PLC is null and void.
No. The PLC is not null and void. There's a PLC meeting this afternoon, as far as I know, at 5 o'clock to discuss some things, to go back to with some suggestions and decisions to the Premier League interim committee and the JFF from there. So that is operational. But the league is null and void, as you said.
So the PLC still have their duties to do regarding the Premier League?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. Now, what do you... Then let me give you my opinion on the Tier 1, Tier 2 that I've read.
Oh, okay.
About if Rudolph Speed is planning to come up.
Rudolph is the head of the chairman of the technical committee at the moment, JFF.
The technical committee, Because, no, I don't understand where Mr. Speed has been. You're reinventing the wheel. This is the same A-League that didn't work because there was no money. Transportation cost was too much for the clubs. If the Premier League clubs are broke, how can you bring this Tier 2 and think they can satisfy these requirements? There's no money, Mr. Speed, unless you get a television contract, long term. This A-League to me don't make no sense. Now, give me your opinion on this A-League, this Tier 2 now. Do you agree with it?
Can I ask you a question before I give you my opinion? Do you have an agreement with the JFF? Do you disagree with? Okay, all right. I'm just asking the same like you asked me because, like you,
I disagree with this Tier 2 thing.
That's my point. That's my point, Digger. I'm just making the point to you. That's my point. And if you propose something to me and I disagree with you, the only way in that I know Diego to speak to Diego is actually say, Diego, I disagree on this. I disagree with this as well. Much like you, I want to see the money. I want to see the structure. I want to see the underlying youth programs that are going to buffer these.
So why you have to wait till we disagree? Because today I disagree with
you probably weren't listening, Diego, because I was reading and discussing this even earlier on the program when I went to this earlier on in the program.
You were discussing it, but you weren't putting a position that you disagree, like Diego did.
Diego, I said the document that I saw said 12 instead of 18, and 18, not 14 and 16. And the people in the PLC and where I discuss this know of my views there. But like you, as you have outlined here, I want to see the structure. I want to see the finance. I want to see longevity. I want to see not just the second tier be better than the A-League, but the first tier, the Premier League, go to a much higher ground. That means more money, more organization, more structure. I want to see where it's coming from and where it's going to continue coming from. I want to see the youth program that supports all these clubs that never had youth programs before.
Too long to know that talk is cheap and money talk and BS walk, man.
All right.
You know there's no money to support no A-League, man.
Well, everybody seems to think, including the JFF, that money is coming in buckets. So I am hopeful that it will come and will be used properly.
Unless Manningsman promised it to them, the 100 million Manningsman promised.
More and on Diego. You and I will be looking and talking and discussing as we go. Or keep in touch with us. Much thanks.
No, one last thing.
Quick. We have callers holding.
All right. The cricket 11 now. Give me your 11 because it's not only one opinion we like, one to your others. What would be your starting 11?
I'll go have to come back. When we go to the break at 2:30, I think about it, but let's go to the other caller and I share later on the show. But let's go to the other caller. Thanks, Diego. Let's go to our callers online. Hello, thanks for holding.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Clyde Jeremy.
Afternoon, economist. Thanks for holding, my friend.
Yeah, good afternoon to your callers and your listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having heard Diego on the line, I want to reach out to Southie in New York,
Yes.
And let Southie come back to the dinner table and let us know if he's okay,
Okay.
Yeah, so Diego, if you see Southie anywhere down in the Bronx or anywhere in New York, tell him we need him at the dinner table.
Got you.
Mr. Giardini.
Yes, economist.
When a ship is sinking, who is the first animal to jump up?
Animal, no. Who?
A rat.
A rat.
Yeah, and there's a rat. There's a lot of rats that live in Jamaica and they jump off sinking ships. You know, I take it with disgust last night, and I'm vexing Mr. Jaredine.
What happened last night?
The Minister of Finance telling the Parliament of Jamaica that racing will resume tomorrow, the 20th
The 20th.
of June at Caymanas Park, and all the protocols are in place, etc., etc. I wish the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Sports could do the same thing for all sports in Jamaica. Bring these things to the parliamentary level and let them know the importance of sports to this country. Because I tell you why I said that.
Tell me.
You know, mathematics, you have an international law to the mathematics. It's named Bomdas rule.
What's that rule? Bomb blast rule?
Bomdas.
Bomdas.
Yeah, bracket over division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. In mathematics, you have to multiply before you subtract, you know. And you have to add before you subtract, you know. You know, because we have to grow the thing before we can share it.
Understand.
Yeah, I'm giving you two suggestions. All these Premier League clubs and all these sporting bodies across Jamaica, there is no successful club anywhere in the world that survives without being on the stock exchange. Because they get the money to share. Now Jamaica don't have any club that is on the stock exchange or junior stock exchange.
Not yet.
Yeah, but not yet. But the clubs need some crowdfunding.
Yes.
I'm suggesting I have a marketing formula that I learned. That if you put 20 invoices on the road, the possibility of you getting one client is very good. And that's the probability that I work with.
Okay.
If I want 10 clients now, 200 invites, and I will get 10 clients. The clubs need to send out a SOS to the community and the diaspora, like a Harbour View, all of these big clubs, and let them know the clubs are broke, and the clubs need restructuring, and we need subscription from you. Put it in the newspaper, put it on the internet, market your thing. Let them know that the clubs are an essential part of community development and fight crime and violence and health issues in the community. Invite people in the community to come and train with the club. And I can bet you, Mr. Jaredine, if you start with a subscription base of 2,000 members, paying $10,000 every year for subscription, which is monkey money. It's $20 million that you would raise 1 year for subscription alone. You know.
What would they get in return for the 10,000?
Let me tell you how you're going to sell your thing now. You're going to, how many social workers you have working with Harbour View Football Club?
At a glance, let's say about 8 or 10. Let's say
you're going
10.
to need a minimum of 50 social workers, professionals, social workers with various different competence who is willing to work with the club until the club grows. And then you target certain areas like education, landscaping, gardening, farming, or whatever these social workers can do. And you put them in the community to service these subscription holders. You can help a child with him homework, or you can help them with a backyard garden or whatever, on behalf of the club. And you can even offer them free passes to come into any club event, you know? And also guarantee them that when the club develop players and sell them overseas, they will get a return on any profit that the club would make in the future. Because we need the clubs, you know?
Yeah, we need the clubs. And what you're saying is that you want the clubs, are you encouraging and suggesting that the clubs create a program that would be attractive to bring others from the community and the wider community to be involved and to participate by investing and partnering. And, subscription in this case.
Because the clubs cannot survive in their current state. And I bet you, Mr. Geraldine, if half of you send out a SOS overseas, they get a lot of subscription from overseas.
Economists, I can tell you that over the many years, and Harbor View has been in existence for 46 years, and a lot of our members, friends, family, and supporters are overseas. And, and we have sent out that SOS, and very, very, very few persons have responded to it over time or to any amount. So,
well, let me say this, Mr. Geraldine. If you send it out again with the state of the place now and they don't respond, you know the suggestion would I give you?
Tell me.
Just scrap this football thing in Jamaica and make the Ministry of Sports see what they're going to miss, man.
Okay,
because for some people, it's like you have to dead first before them recognize you.
I don't want us to go that head of dying first or giving up. So, but we continue to try, we continue to create, and we continue to encourage, and we encourage you to keep steering your suggestion, plans, and action until we find success. Thank you, economists. We're going to the break, and we'll be back.
Mental illness. Many are denied the benefit of the support of family and friends because of stigma and an oppressive silence around mental illness. Let's put an end to the silence.
The time by the Ministry of Health is 2:30.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Polyflex, Fastest Group of Companies, D'Angelo Auto Spares and Accessories Limited, and EdgeCamp.
Tottenham midfielder Dele Alli has been suspended for one match by the Football Association about coronavirus. Ali, who is 24 years old, put a video on Snapchat in February in which he joked about the outbreak and appeared to mock an Asian man. The England international has also been fined £50,000 and ordered to undertake an education course. He will miss Tottenham's match at home to Manchester United on June 19. Ali said in response to the FA's decision, he would like to apologize again for any offense caused by his behavior. That's all the time we have for your sports in a minute.
KLAS Sports FM 89 has just presented Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Polyflex, the home of foam since 1982, a member of the Morgans Group. Fastest Group of Companies, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people. Visit us at 77 to 79 Malines Road, 3 Cottage Road, 18 Fairview, Montego Bay, and 35 Ward Avenue, Mandeville. D'Angelo Auto Spares and Accessories Limited at 20 Balmoral Avenue, Kingston 10, and Shop Pen and EdgeCam for people who dream in color.
PSOJ's Crime Stop Jamaica unsolved. We need your help to solve the murder of Sasha Gay Fairclough. She was attacked at 5:30 p.m. on Friday, September 13, 2019 on the Brook Green Road, Ocherius. Miss Fairclough was driving with her mother on a section of Bad Road when gunmen opened fire. Both women were shot multiple times. Sasha Gay died at hospital while undergoing treatment. Crime Stop Jamaica and concerned citizens offer a total reward of $500,000 for information leading to an arrest and charge. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
Here comes Usain Bolt, storming through, he takes it again. Casemiro leaves it to Cristiano Ronaldo. It's another hat-trick. What a catch! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Oh, it's in the air, it's hard, it's flat, it's 6 more. Puts it in! What an avalanche! A 21-point lead!
You want it? We have it! This is the Scoreboard. Weekdays at 5 p.m. with a repeat at 10 a.m. Only on KLAS Sports FM 89. Be a part of it. You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
So we're back on a terrific Thursday afternoon here on The Sports Desk. Clyde Jardine, your host. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hope you're hearing me.
Sir Clyde.
Yes, it is. Mr. P?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. P.
And a normal football team, like Premier League team, around how many players them train for a season?
It may vary between, say, 25 up to 35. So average right, about 30.
35. And around how much it would cost to prepare a Premier League side from the beginning to the end.
Over that 10-month period from say July preseason to May, that usually clubs range on budgets from about 12 million up to 20-25 million if you have international competition.
All right, just use 25 as a benchmark.
All right.
And you win the Premier League. What's your return?
Your return for winning the Premier League is 2.5 million.
Okay, so
and you may win some other prizes. You may get up to 3-4 million from prize money.
So you would in a deposit of around $21 million last.
If you're using those numbers, yes.
Exactly. So sometimes when I hear economists talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I would like say for EC,
yes,
right? Is a losing entity, right? If a share is being sold for $10, if based on economics, people say you must invest in football in Jamaica. JUTC is a losing organization. If a share is being offered at $10, $5 a share, if you would put up $200,000 in JUTC, the reason for saying so, sometimes I hear him talk about how people must invest in football and them things, and that's why I quote how much to prepare a team and your something. Because if you even have 4 top marketing person, you know, right? Now you attend and say that is a football match. How much a regular say, for example, Harborview, Waterhouse, Arnett Garden, and I think Tivoli, right? Those are the top club attract spectator. And then now every day they would make around $500,000.
But let me help you along, Mr. P.
Yeah.
Once and you're going through each of the line items, which I understand, but just to help this conversation.
Yeah.
In the end, you're going to be spending more than you get per season. So it's a losing venture. I think that's the overriding point that you want to make. Where some clubs, and when I speak, I prefer, Mr. P, to speak about my club, Harborview, because I don't know the ins and out workings of other clubs, right?
Yes.
We see that losing venture. And so one of the things we try to do is try to find winning advantages. One of those winning advantages is try to export our players, coaches, our managers into international. Only players may give you a return or may give you some return that you can break even. So far, we need to find more of those niches within the sports. Television broadcast rights and media rights is another that we need to break in big time, as Diego mentioned, and other things of venue sponsorships and other creative ways are ways that we need to look on and to find more income earning opportunities for all the clubs and for the league generally for it to be more profitable and sustainable.
The next thing now, Mr. Jardine.
Yes, Mr. P.
Yeah, I wish the station could get in touch with Mr. Clovis Metcalf, because he came on public radio the other day. I said the protocol where racing is concerned, he would be sending it to the government Ministry of Finance on Monday gone. I was surprised to say our racing would start like this week, because by Monday the protocol would be sent in, the documents would be sent in to Ministry of Finance, and everything would be okay. Right? I was surprised that on Monday nothing go on. It's a sad day for racing, you know. I'm a turf fight. And let me tell you something.
Yes.
I keep my fingers crossed if racing resume, because I heard from the grapevine said once racing resume, the purse will be cut by around 30% purse. Right? And yesterday, I think it was last night on Primetime Sports, they said around 60% of the jockey
not certified, right?
Do a license, and around 50% of the trainer. But Mr. Jardine, you see what surprised me?
We're coming to the callers. Yes, go ahead, Mr. P.
Years ago, when I think before when Gonzalez became president of the racing commission, they used to call some horses, you know, they run out 6 months, 25 years and don't place. Right, and them say come out of racing. And you have trainers. Take for example, I can't call name because you have the president for the Trainers Association, Vin Edwards, and around a calendar year you do start one horse. Right? And you have other trainers who do that, and you have jockey who don't ride 25 or 20 races for a year and them their jockey and those were the person who Ren Gonzalez reinstate them because the administration before him said, boy, watch ya. You come out of racing because you just say you're a jockey or you're a trainer. And you don't contribute not because you don't have a horse around, you don't get a ride, but you're a jockey and them things. And this is what because some of the trainers them who might be stand security for a man and say my trainer, him do stand with one horse in a year and he said, well, what the purpose of spending 50,000, I said 25,000 to register as a licensed trainer and 10,000 that as a jockey and you not get no right.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, Mr. P. We're watching it closely. We're hoping the racing start back. Dr. Paul, I heard him say that probably the end of the month or next month. Well, let's hope everything gets going in a proper way soon. We hear your heart and we'll feel your soul, Mr. P. Stay in touch with us and keep us going.
Okay, Sir Clyde.
Much thanks. We'll go to our callers who have been holding. Hello, thanks for holding. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Hello, good afternoon, Clyde.
Good afternoon, P.
What detergent there, you know?
Yeah, man. Hearing you loud and clear, Pina. What's up?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Clyde, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question outside of sports. It's going to lead into sports. Then.
Okay.
But it's a tough question. I mean, I know if you want to answer this, you don't have to answer it.
If afraid of going duck.
Do you agree with anyone who say the police are pigs?
No.
Okay. Argument closed. Now we're going to further than that. Pioneer, you're here. Ask anybody else then agree with that. I do agree that you have some bad cop in the police force.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say maybe out of every 10 you see I walk down the street, think about them.
And let me verify. Let me verify my answer for you, Pioneer. I don't believe in calling people generally. Not pigs in this. No. I don't believe in call people names generally, and I don't believe that I paint you, me, and the person up by Beverly Hills with the same brush. Everybody is differently. I like to listen to a specific case against a direct person, and I have my individual views, much as if you were listening a little earlier, Diego was asking me about the JFF. I'm going to agree, disagree, or not have a view on anything the JFF says are done, but I'm going to have more views on everything that is done. And if I disagree with you, I'm going to say, Pina, I disagree with you. If I agree with you, I'm going to say I agree with you. But I'm not going to follow anybody, anytime, anywhere. That's not me either. So I go have my individual things, and I don't like call people names, and I don't like broad brush everybody under one heading either.
Okay, sir. You're going to hear somebody come and said, this man did not say the police are pigs. But when you hear a thing, you never say some police. You use a broad brush and blame the police. And that will embolden the police to do wrongs to people. So that's all I am saying where that is concerned. People need to think about that. Now, the other day I was talking to Zidane and I asked Zidane to show me or play me a clip, show me a tweet or a text where Colin Kaepernick was defending social injustice between the years of 2011 to 2015 when he got the second tier. He went and showed me and play a clip of someone's opinion of Colin Kaepernick. And maybe another a black man like me who sympathize with Colin Kaepernick's views. That's not what I asked for. Anybody can say Colin Kaepernick was saying things. To who? Where? That's all I want you to show me. Mm-hmm. Show me where he was saying these things. Don't tell me, oh yes, he's trying the Phi Alpha Kappa Beta or what fraternities in colleges are. Because I know how black are in here, it look to join the white people, them, so him have to join the black people, them. So I'm not buying none of that. So let them understand that. So when people saying, I am saying all this and all that, I am saying he called black men than him who took advantage, I would say took advantage, play the game and do their job, accept him and sack him. He called them out of their name. When they bring him up and charge him for it and they asked him, he said, I speak in the huddle. He did not say, yes, I said it and it was wrong, and he still haven't said that. You said you speak in the huddle, so you're trying to say you don't know what you were saying to these people, and you, as not your teammate, is your opponent you're speaking with. I am telling you this. If I am playing at Arnett Garden, and I kick a ball in goal against your goalkeeper out of Harbour View, and him call me some name, and I'm my friend, and I'm happy him make him call me his name. Vex him, so me just bust up him neck. Not true?
Yes.
Okay. So just take it from me. So I am not saying your message is not out there, and some people is not taking your message, But I am saying your message was not legit. It was not planned. It was not organized. You sit here because you lose your job or you're vexed because, as some say again, I repeat it. But the right here, so I work now for 3 years at this job, and if the boss sends somebody over here and put him over me, and after me train him and answer to him, I got vex and I got do less job. Especially the boss now, I mean, I do nothing. Yeah, so as some see that thing turn out. You get caught sitting and you make it what you want to make it to be. Who want it, take it, who don't. If we move on to some other things now.
Hold. Pioneer, we're going to the break. Hold, we'll come right back to it. Pine Action, sorry. I know, we're going to the break. Come right back to it.
You're listening to KLES Sports FM 89, your number one sports radio station, the rhythm of the people.
Dr. Glass phone lines have been intermittent, so try calling us at 876-580-1705 or 876-550-9057 during the hours 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. If bothered by the highway construction in Kingston, no worries, we will come to you. Conditions apply. Remember, if you can't reach us, we will come to you. Call us at 876-580-1705 or 876-550-9057.
Interested in trading stock online? The Jamaica Stock Exchange's online trading portal is the easy and convenient way to trade and view your stocks. Buy or sell securities, view market performance, monitor account balance, and view statements. Contact participating brokers, NCB Capital Markets, Barita Investments, Sagicor Investments, VM Wealth Management, and MVL Stock Brokers, or the JSE, at 967-3271. The Jamaica Stock Exchange online trading portal.
Bashco time. All the things that you need for your home. The price is so low, you would never need a loan at Bashco. At Bashco. Appliances, house with furniture and rugs, gifts and linens and glass and mugs at Bashco. At Bashco. Whether they north or south, in the east and the west, Bashco. Them all over, they must be the best at Bashco. At Bashco. At Bashco. At Bashco. 30 years giving you more.
The Saturday Night Alternative on KLS Sports FM 89 offers the best in vintage music from the 1950s through to the 1980s, both local and foreign, interspersed with short historical data. Join me, your host, Roy Black, every Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 12 midnight for this unique show, unmatched anywhere in Jamaican radio. The Spotlight Hour at 9 p.m. seeks to portray an artist or a particular mood by a verbal and musical presentation. Saturday Night Alternative, 6:30 p.m. on KLS Sports FM 89. Be sure to join us.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLES Sports FM 89.
So we're back on a terrific Thursday afternoon on The Sports. Pana, give a quick wrap, please, and we'll go to our...
About a minute and a half left.
No, time on us, and then we have a WhatsApp message.
No
but
problem.
good.
No problem.
Yeah,
no
man.
problem. G-Star now same drop an exclusive yesterday. You have a youth in the group when you Kems Henry. Kems Henry is a big LeBron fan. I'm vexed with people if you say anything negative about LeBron. Me and him have enough fight. Pick up yourself, Kems. But you what happened? That thing when G-Star said yesterday about him, I dropped exclusive about Giannis. We beat that in the group so long. We have all uniforms with Giannis and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and other people, boss. We beat that article from about 2-3 months ago so much that it's I'm posted in these groups so much that just go check G-Star Giant Milligan Sports Group or the Class Sports Desk Sports Group, and you will see where we go over there with that article. Yeah, go search it and you will see. Don't come here about you dropping exclusive. That's not no bombsman. That is been talking about for more than a year now.
All right, fine. I could leave it there. Thanks, man. All right, so we have our second segment of our WhatsApp text messages, sponsored by Hawkeye Electronic Security, securing what matters most.
Woo! Text message.
It's now time for text messages on the sports desk.
All right. So the first one here says, I think some of the callers need to clarify what constitutes activism because, in my humble opinion, just posting on social media can't be equal to what those great men and women did during the civil rights movement. This person's name is not here, but your statement says what it is. I understand. Second one says, Clyde, please give your opinion. In as much as Jack Warner is seen as somewhat for Caribbean football, hence we would be somewhat emphatic, as we would be somewhat emphatic towards him. Don't you see his statement saying, I don't know the guy, referring to the current JFA president, Mike Ricketts, in the condescending tone as someone of very low significance and importance is being disrespectful. I'm sure he's seen as such to save and accept of his current FIFA issues, which has caused him to rise to some level of prominence in the eyes of world football. What if FIFA or even USA had referred to him as such? He's disrespectful. What say you, Clyde? Well, what I said and what I heard in that interview with Austin Jack Warner responding to that question posed by Garfield Jones on the scoreboard a week or so ago or two ago was that he said very clearly after making that statement that you said, he said that could be on me, on him, Jack Warner, because he's not following as closely as he used to all the aspects of football and could overlook or not know what he is doing. But he said because he wasn't making any ripples in the landscape means that in his view he's not talking up, not making the right statements, not making the right move. So in his view, he's not a leader as he would expect and want. Is there any other here? That's it for the WhatsApp text messages, and they're brought to you through sponsors, Hawkeye Electronic Security, securing what matters most. Let's go back to our phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the sports desk.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. San Diego.
Good day, Mr. Clyde.
Good day, San Diego.
I must say, I like your view expressed to Pine Action just now about not broad brushing people.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I say Diego tried to channel, to stereotype your views on the JFF. But you responded by saying you take the issues as they occur, and you know what is to be.
As I do in life, San Diego, I may be your best friend, but my way of being your best friend is to tell you the truth as I see it all the time.
Best approach.
Whether you like me, don't like me, agree with me, or don't disagree with me.
Best approach, and not many of us is gifted like you, because you're a man who really calm and take things in stride and rational most of the time. Most of us start to get off, So the other day somebody asked about the role models. You should have come to mind, Clyde Jardine, yeah man. Without commenting on the merits or demerits of Pine Action's views on this Colin
Kaepernick
issue, I must say respect to Piney for defending his position, and he's able to articulate, to tell his mind, and him simply speak his mind and him defend it. Recently, a caller, an esteemed caller, man who get caller of the year, I think, on this program, called and said, San Diego should change his opinion because a lot of people are against his view. But that's no reason to change your opinion.
No.
Because masses are against it.
No.
Gregory Isaacs once said, one man against the world. He's willing to stand for his opinion, even if he's the only man, of that view.
A young artist from your side of the world called Chronix says that now
he's the only man with pants and waist.
Now follow nobody.
All right.
So
further, him said him do things for the love, not for the likes.
There you go.
That's a true De La Vegan.
Okay.
When you're looking at my face, you see a De La Vegan. Now, again, Pine Action, all I can encourage him to, I like it. I like that sort of, you can't tell a man, say, change in view because mass is against it.
No.
That's absurd. And it's a little unbecoming for, as I said, an esteemed caller. Garfield Jones.
Yes.
On the scoreboard recently,
yes.
in recent times, he has been replaying some, old scoreboard program. Right. Mm-hmm. Most of them with Dr. Wright and Stratton and all of that.
Yes, I've heard them.
I would love to hear. I'm not sure the dates. I think 2014 was the year, but that's the year that Mr. Roy McLean died.
Oh. Okay.
I think he died in July 2014.
Okay.
And in the aftermath of his death, Clyde, they invited Anthony Campbell on the scoreboard.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes, Anthony Yulee Campbell. I think him live in Florida now.
Okay.
My brother Steve live in Florida also, and Jamaica cricketer live in Florida. He invited Yulee, and Yulee was in paying tribute to the great Roy McLean. And it was in that light that Yulee mentioned him having a lot of failures and Mr. McLean pursued with him, So if Garfield could find that tape,
that flashback, you'd like to hear it.
2014, somewhere after July. Mr. McLean died in July. Okay. So I suspect this would have been like August, September, sort of thing. I would love to hear a replay of that tape. Yes. So that's a little homework, hopefully. But finally, just to be quick.
Yes.
3 years in the current job. Oh, that was Pine Action saying him 3 years on his job. I wish him a nice run, a continued, progress in his occupation. And as I said, be steadfast. Don't relent on your opinion because masses think otherwise. And I'm ashamed to know that, Clyde, for about 4 or 5 days, like on a Friday, Mr. P said him never know Mr. McLean, the coach at Stats. And I had to wait until Monday to correct it. People wallowed in ignorance for Saturday, Sunday, Friday.
Well, Saturday and Sunday, we're not there.
Yes.
And,
but
things will pass and people will overlook things are not responding.
Terence Cork at Kingston Club, he coached Jamaica under 15 at this time. He's still around.
Okay.
Even Mark Nita, although Mr. Mark never coached Mark, because when Mark left KC, that's when Mr. Mark went there. That's when Mr. McLean went there.
Went there.
So,
okay.
Mark Nita would have missed him. But there are people around who could, I'm a little disappointed in that. But
sometimes everybody don't hear and sometimes everybody don't listen. And sometimes, everybody don't call.
So that's the thing, like sometimes people can't be bothered.
Yes.
So we need to be careful. If we perpetuate too much ignorance, then people will give up on us,
Right. And sometimes people don't know. I mean,
true.
And this is what these programs are about. That things come out and you think or you hear something and you say, I didn't know, I didn't realize. And or you start questioning and you dig a little deeper. For me, though.
But we just need to be open. And I noticed somebody mentioning a Sri Lankan player, Ataputo. I think it's Garfield Jones too, saying Ataputo, who became Sri Lanka captain and one of them top batsmen. I think he mentioned that Ataputo, in his first 9 innings, made 6 ducks.
Oh.
And he went on to become one of Sri Lanka's greatest. So life go.
Yes.
Okay, Clyde.
Sad, by the way, just as you go, just to add that for me, Mr. Roy McLean lived just a road away from me in Harborview as a youngster. So he was one of the many minds that helped a lot of the youngsters in Harborview, not just in cricket, but in sports generally and in football, right? And so he had that grasp and through his sons intermingled with everybody and was always willing to share a good word or two to everybody. For me, Roy McLean is one of the gentlemen I grew up with and will always respect in life. Thanks, Jago. Do we have another call line or we go to the break? Let's go. We go to the break. Thanks.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents a health alert.
Protection measures for persons who are in or have recently visited areas where COVID-19 is spreading. Stay at home if you begin to feel unwell, even with mild symptoms such as headache and slight runny nose until you recover. Avoiding contact with others and visits to medical facilities will allow these facilities to operate more effectively and help protect you and others from possible COVID-19 and other viruses. If you develop fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical advice promptly, as this may be due to a respiratory infection or other serious condition. Call in advance and tell your provider of any recent travel or contact with travelers. Why? Calling in advance will allow your healthcare provider to quickly direct you to the right health facility. This will also help to prevent possible spread of COVID-19 and other viruses.
KLAS Sports FM 89 has just presented a health alert.
Firmino with a flick on, Lallana in front of goal, and Liverpool are level. To quickly take in free kick from David Silva to Aguero, and the fifth goal is poked in.
Chelsea with an overload, here's Pedro, 2-0 to the Blues, an assist for Eden Hazard.
Here he comes, Marcus Rashford, stuttering run up, lovely penalty.
The EPL is back on June 17 on your number one station for sports, KLAS Sports FM 89.
For Sadio Mane, just for a moment, looked like he might get there. He does get there now ahead of Lindelof and fires it in.
The Saturday Night Alternative on KLAS Sports FM 89 offers the best in vintage music from the 1950s through to the 1980s, both local and foreign, interspersed with short historical data. Join me, your host, Roy Black, every Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 12 midnight for this unique show, unmatched anywhere in Jamaican radio. The Spotlight Hour at 9 p.m. seeks to portray an artist or a particular mood by verbal and musical presentation. Saturday Night Alternative, 6:30 p.m. on KLAS Sports FM 89. Be sure to join us.
No one is immune to mental illness. Many are denied the benefit of the support of family and friends because of stigma and an oppressive silence around mental illness. Let's put an end to the silence.
The temperature by the Ministry of Health is
26 degrees Celsius in New Kingston.
You're listening to KLAS Sports FM 89, your number one sports radio station, the rhythm of the people.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
All right, we're on a terrific Thursday afternoon here on The Sports Desk. Clyde Jr., your host, and as usual, at this time, usually the second segment for our music through our sponsors, HChem Paint, for people who dream in color, Smart Post Limited, Shop Smart, Ship Smart. Visit smartpostgm.com. Bouncers by K Party Rental, serving your kids our joy. Very amazing products, VAP, pure foods. If it's pure, we want more. And Express Fitness, your goal, our mission. And the second selection by Cat is by Wayne Wonder. And listen to this title, I Can't Breathe.
Treat us like humans, man. We're people, man. Real life. I've seen you guys, street dogs, and other animals. Much better, you know? So until you undo the evil, you know?
I'm not sure anymore. When me hear them knocking on my door, like my do, come me down just the boys in a blue. Tear gas smoking fill up the sky. So many people fighting for their rights. In the middle of the looting and the shooting, just to see them cry. Always say, nothing better than we say, nothing better than we say, brutality always say, when them say, up on the video we say, yeah, I will so obvious, MC not get up, I charge flight missing, at every corner missing, I travel more than missing, some new rice missing, a Michael Brown missing, all on the castle missing, a Freddie Gray and Sandra Blaine, I'm not sure anymore, when me hear them knocking on my door, like Malcolm makes me peep through. Come me down, just the boys in a blue. Tear gas smoke, it fill up the sky. So many people fighting for their rights. In the middle of the looting and the shooting, just to see them cry. Say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. I can't breathe. Say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace, I can't breathe.
I we see, no people that down we see, no people that young we see, brutality I we see, when them up like we see, up on the video we see, you know them still a literate, and when it's so obvious, them still a get a pity. A George Floyd missing, a Eric Garner missing, a Trayvon Martin missing, Tamir Rice missing, a Michael Brown missing, Orlando Castle missing, a Freddie Gray and Sandra Blaine. I'm not sure anymore when me hear them knocking on my door. Like Malcolm makes me peep through. Come me down to some boys in a blue. Tear gas smoke, it fill up the sky. So many people fighting for their rights. In the middle of the looting and the shooting. Just to see them cry. Say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. I can't breathe. Say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace, no justice, can't breathe.
Nice new song there. I Can't Breathe by Wayne Warner. I'm not sure anymore. We're here to knocking on my door, the boys in the blue. And then what he said, like Malcolm X, I peeped through. No justice, no peace. I can't breathe. Wayne Warner with a new song there of this trying time, selected by Cat for sponsors, Edge Campaign for people who dream in color. Smart Post Limited, Shop Smart, Ship Smart. Visit smartpostgym.com. Bouncers by K Party Rental, serving your kids our joy. Very amazing products. VAP, Pure Foods. If it's pure, we want more. And Express Fitness, your goal, our mission. So we go back to the phone lines, and the phone lines you can get us on. The flow number is 888-991-5527. The digital line, if you prefer, is 888-935-5527. Overseas listeners, 1-876-968-5005 and 6. The text line with your WhatsApp text messages you can share with us at 828-0925. So many ways you can get in contact with us, many subjects you can talk about, and many things we can relate on the phone or through the WhatsApp text messages on the many things that are going on in the sporting arena as the world reopens. And Monique, just about 3 o'clock, I think Sevilla in the Spanish La Liga is about to reopen in their game, scheduled to start around about this time as the leagues open up in Spain, in Italy, in Germany, as we highlighted on the show, and everybody is waiting to see with bated breath is when the English Premier League open. I think that is Victor around June 17th or something like that. That's slated to come up in the next week or so. So the leagues around the world, the football leagues around the world are opening up. In the Observer today, we see the heading saying that the MLS returns with the tournament in Disney World, and that's run about July 8th. So many things happening there. The West Indies squad has arrived with the special tour in England, and we'll watch and see how that goes. No more face masks for substitutes in Bundesliga as they ease their hygiene measures, as they take baby steps to see how we can protect ourselves. Want to go back to this local story that is plastered in bold print across the front page of the Gleaner Sports section. Major changes proposed for local football. And the JFF Technical Committee Chairman Rudolph Speed insists that nothing has been agreed on as yet. So it's just an idea. It's an initial blush of a draft that has been circulated to generate discussions, to have these discussions across the island. And I want to open that discussion to be had here on the sports desk, if at no other time when I'm here on a Thursday, so all the 14 different parishes can share their views. It's very important. I said this earlier, I'm saying it again. The leaders of the JFF are not leaders necessarily from clubs. Clubs are the basis that generate football and have the responsibility to develop and grow football island-wide. They must be at the base of it. The players, coaches, staff, as manager, the ground level persons are not sharing in the decision making that are led by the leaders and the parish association members, as with the club leaders. And there are 2, 3, or 4 different tiers, and we have to communicate better to get that on air. Let's go to the phone calls. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hopefully you're hearing me. Not hearing me at the moment, right? So basically, that discussion needs to take, and I say that because I hear, I see, and I know a lot of the players, coaches, managers, and the persons on the ground, the people who are actually on the field of play, those stakeholders were not consulted. The discussions did not reach them. They were simply told after the decisions were made, well, this is the decision, while they were preparing mentally, physically, with nutrition, with sacrifices, with expectation that the league was going to continue at some time. Or those that are quiet and much further in the background, the youngsters and those parents who were hoping against hope that some of the youth leagues, the under 13, the under 15, the under 10 in Kasafa, and the under 17, which had been cancelled, that they would have a chance to play. They have no chance to play in a competition, and they think that they have been left out, and they feel a little bit cheated and feel that the consultation could have involved them as stakeholders as well. And so I'm saying we can improve on all the things we do so we can possibly get a better result as we go forward in the sporting arena. Good to see some of the other sports opening up back as well. And we hear Mr. P, as we heard economists and others looking at horse racing, and we're waiting to see when that comes back up, in what shape and format, and what new measures. Let's go to our phone. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Clyde.
Yes, it is.
Yes, this is Man from Afar. Yes.
Man from Afar, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good.
And you?
Not too bad at all. Could be better, could be worse. Not complaining.
Okay, good. Yes, I want to. I hear Dr. Paul Wright, I think 2 evenings ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what he was saying is that he was doing an overview as to review as to what he thinks will be happening to horse racing soon. Well, he expects any time now. But what he was saying doesn't sound optimistic at all, because
no, not from what I heard, Man from Afar, because he was saying that even though he was hoping and trying to even cut some of the costs and the expenses that he is exposed to, that he was saying that logically a lot of things not in place yet, and won't for a couple of weeks.
Yes, but maybe I don't know, because then why would we get this from the Minister of Finance that it would be what would it be, next week Saturday?
The 20th, I think, was the date that was put forward.
Yes, next week Saturday would be the 20th. Mm-hmm. So it sounds the minister would expect us in that industry to be up and running.
And I'm assuming the minister would be going based on what he was advised.
He was right.
Yes, the Man from Afar.
Yeah,
and that comes in to the same point I keep making and keep reminding people,
Yes.
What was the questions and what was the discussions with the JFF president, Mike Ricketts, when he made that decision? Was he properly advised, or was he not asking the right people the right questions? Or what was the question? What was being discussed?
Yes. I see your point.
Because if I ask you if you're ready to go and you're ready to go, but the other 9 person in the group of 10 of us are not ready to go, my answer is the wrong answer.
Yes.
But if you get a real feel and you have ongoing discussions, and and suggestions of if you're ready, then what next, or what if, or if you just want to hear a superficial answer. Worse, if a decision has been made by your ruling body to cancel, you're likely to
Yes,
go in that way. Hold with
you're
us for a
right.
moment, man from afar. We're going to the break. We'll come right back to you.
On air, online, or on your mobile. It's sports on KLAS Sports FM 89. Get the latest in local and international sporting news and updates weekdays in Sports in a Minute, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. every hour on the half hour. Sports in a Minute is sponsored by Polyflex, the home of foam since 1982, a member of the Morgans Group, Foster's Group of Companies, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people. Visit us at 77 to 79 Alliance Road, 3 Cottage Road, 18 Fairview, Montego Bay, and 35 Ward Avenue, Mandeville. Dangel Auto Spares and Accessories Limited at 20 Balmoral Avenue, Kingston 10, and shop number 10, 1A Chapelton Road, Maypen. I Cool Water, I Cool for Life, and Edgechem for people who dream in color.
For financial news and latest developments in the business community and economy, Financially Speaking is the top choice. Join me, your host, Errol Gregory, Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:35 p.m. as we look at current economic issues, provide small business tips, and help you to build your business and portfolio. That's Financially Speaking with Errol Gregory, heard only on KLAS Sports FM 89, sponsored by Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSC Online Trading.
Great vibes on the field, in the ring, on the court, at work or home, wherever you go. We go with the lifestyle and music vibes weeknights at 7. Great music, interviews, and all the action from the sporting scene. The lifestyle and music vibes weeknights at 7 to 8:30 p.m. on KLAS Sports FM 89.
You are listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call and talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
All right, so welcome back on a terrific Thursday afternoon here on the Sports Desk. We have Man from Afar online. Yes, Man from Afar, continue.
Yeah, yes, right. I am saying, even though the time is so short, today is the 11th.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In 9 days' time.
Yes, we can have.
I think a whole lot of things would have been put in place, or should have been from now put in place to facilitate that date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not testing the wisdom of Dr. Paul because he's a horse race man. He's close to the action even than I. But I think with the minister giving the commitment that it can resume by the 20th, I think they would just go with pace now and set the systems in place to really go by that day.
Well, let's start with what we have, Man from Afar. You're getting from the financial authority of government,
yes,
a virtual go ahead. So that's one step in the right direction. That the authorities give it the go ahead, and the financial authorities give it the go ahead. So it almost be incumbent on you, the Horse Racing Commission, I guess that's Clovis Metcalf and the SVRL, to get everything in place to then put all the dot all the I's, cross all the T's, get the OOTBs up to script and push as close as you can to the 20th or close thereafter. And inform the public ahead of time.
Yes,
we're coming to the other callers.
Mm-hmm. Maybe those would be the most challenging to get the OTBs and some other things in place so that we can have a prompt start.
But they have to push a little faster and go a little quicker now to get it in place. So let's encourage them and let's hope that will be as soon as possible.
Yes.
Thanks, Man.
Let me touch a little on Pine and my brother. I can tell you that I too will echo the sentiment shared by St. Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
A real man will stand the test of your ideas, your opinion, and you will stand by them. Though when the world come down against you, I think the test of character will show that you stood your ground and stand up for what you believe in.
Yes.
Whether it is right or wrong.
Whether it is right
you
or
will
wrong.
get a lot of beaten. Then what term said you are wrong, and everybody against you saying that. But I mean, when I hear his presentation today, I had the same view that I will echo the same sentiment. I sympathize with him, and I'm proud of him at the same time. That he really stood his ground and defend his position.
I appreciate Man From Afar. Let's leave it there today. Thanks a million.
Okay, Clive.
All right. Thanks very much. That was Man From Afar. Let's go to our other callers line. Hello. Good afternoon.
Sir, Clyde.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're good.
Come again?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes, Highgate. It sounds like
Yeah,
Highgate.
man, Highgate. Yeah, man, you know, Sir, Clyde.
Yes, Highgate.
If a madman, I talk to one little child, right?
If a madman.
I talk to one youngster.
Yes. You start out way out on you're gone to a madman. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, man.
Can't be just a man.
No, madman.
All right.
You have the certificate, he's mad.
All right, okay. All right.
And then the parents see the young child attack to the madman. If when the parent call over the child and the child say, say the madman at him is a 1 + 1 equal 2. The fact that come from a madman, the 1 + 1 equal 2 still right, because that come from a madman, that means you're wrong.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Right, even if I come from a madman, 1 + 1 equal 2. At the parent, you tell him say that wrong because I come from a madman. Or even if I come from a madman, you accept
no,
it.
But
right.
if it's wrong, it's wrong. It don't
so
really matter
right.
who it comes from or who it going to. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's right, it's right. It's simple. It
that,
don't matter if it was a child or a 50-year-old or a sane man or a pink man.
Right. Instead of to say this, Franco say this me just start watch NFL. So even though I watch NFL for last 5 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. It means we can't have a take from NFL and Kirk and it makes sense.
Yes.
It means we can be correct even though we just start watching for 5 years, no?
Yes, if you just watched it yesterday, you can still be correct.
When we say Franco alone in the car, in it. Anybody out there feel like because me just start watch this thing. So we can have a take what makes sense or we can write from the NFL point. Remember the example we give about the madman. See? Moving along. Me and Pina now. As I agree with Pina, especially the section. Your Pina just say telequal. You don't want somebody sure what Colin Kaepernick that do in a period before 2016. So I want to add something to that. Listen to me and listen to me good. A football I give you, right?
I'm listening.
It's in the check. Huh?
I said I'm listening.
Yeah, man. It's in time I go to high school.
Uh-huh.
If you take the Champions League match, I'm like a 2:45 ticket. We school over 3 o'clock. So I say 2:45. I know say me never Highgate and sit me high school is in Highgate. So I say as a school bell ring, I go catch the Champions League. If you sit at 1:45, as I wake up, first thing I tell mommy, my ankle sprain. It's about 15 minutes after that, me get on bandage and wrap on my foot. If you look a bit after that, me get one pill and start take some pill, and then I start up. And the reason why that's important is because I was trying to say, and I see anything Colin Kaepernick do. When based on my brief research, when Colin Kaepernick start put money in a charity and start make donations, the same year when in real and all finance is if indeed see the charity are going to Black Lives Matter or the right thing about the charities where for black people say 2013, 2014, 2015, Pina will left on him back. But the fact say they start do it with them when they mean already, you come like say similar to me, when they try to come and trust them. So what we need to do on foot sprain, what foot? What we need to do for sure some more activists start doing it money. If he was doing that before, that's all Pina say. Why start do that after an email? All I do mention to me sitting in my brief research, I need to go dig deeper. If all of them 2016 about what I say, right after my kneel, they don't start doing it, and through my agree Pina. We just see that as him, as a Pina say, a cover in tracks. I agree with Pina. Until these people can prove to me on Pina, well, most of Pina, but my Pina side say, this man was doing these things before 2016, then if it gets out of Pina back, and these are attack Pina, these are the new person to attack Pina, because they call them about LeBron and Jordan, I blow and bless call my big car since you start. That's all I have to say.
I didn't hear the last thing you said about LeBron and what?
Yeah, these guys that criticize Pina And the car this time with LeBron and Jordan when he shot himself in their own foot are the biggest bomber call made by a big car since the year start. Not final call. So if we leave the man alone and start out in LeBron and Jordan argument.
All right, I get. We'll leave that. And we know you'll follow up tomorrow. Thanks, my friend. Have a good day. All right, let's go to our next call line. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Clyde?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I didn't expect to get on so quick.
Yeah, Old Fortis?
Yeah, man. Same
Uh-huh.
man. I wasn't going to call today, but I just heard Highgate a while ago.
Yes.
And it's permitted call.
Okay.
And yesterday, I spoke to Orville, and I recommended an article to Orville. And I hope that Pino was listening and that he would also read that article. It is called The Awakening of Colin Kaepernick.
The Awakening of Colin Kaepernick.
Yes, it's an article that was done in the New York Times. And Highgate, as a man I know who have the ability to do that kind of research, I would suggest that he does that. I just want to quote a few things from that article.
Go right ahead.
2010, when Colin Kaepernick was a junior in college. Hello?
Yes, 2010 when Kaepernick was a junior in college.
Junior in college. He applied to join a traditionally black fraternity at his university. And quoting from the article, he was seeking a deeper connection to his own roots and a broader understanding of the lives of others. This is a year before he graduated from college. He graduated with a degree in business management. So he was not, as a matter of fact, he was a two-sport star. He was actually drafted by the Chicago Cubs for baseball, but he chose to play football. So he was a two-sport star with excellent academic qualification. As part of that black fraternity outreach,
yes,
he was required, or he chose, or he asked to be able to interact with the wider community. And he said, I've had people write to me because of my tattoos, because of my adoption, because I am biracial, or kids with heart defect, because my mother lost 2 children. So to me, the more people you can touch, the more people you can influence in a positive way or inspire, the better. This was Colin Kaepernick before he became a professional.
That you're quoting him saying that the more people can.
Right.
Okay.
That is in that same article that I recommend that they read. But just to look at his professional achievement.
Yes.
One of the ratings of a quarterback is what they call a quarterback rating. One of the measures that they use. This is Colin Kaepernick's quarterback rating from his rookie year. 81.2, 98.3, 91.6, 86.4, 78.5, 90.7, an average of 88.9. The highest rated quarterback in NFL history is Aaron Rodgers at 101. Colin Kaepernick is the 24th rated quarterback in the history of the NFL since they started doing quarterback rating. He is the 5th best in all time touchdown to interception ratio. The truth of the matter is, Colin Kaepernick became active with what they call the Black Lives Matter movement, which started around about 2014 with the murder of a young man by the name of Michael Brown. He was part of the funders of the Black Lives Matter movement, activist in that. He acted in 2016 because of, in July of 2016, in consecutive days, 2 black men were murdered by policemen, one Aaron Sterling and one Philander Castile in July of 2016. And that escalated the activities of the Black Lives Matter movement. So Colin Kaepernick, as an activist in the Black Lives Matter movement, decided to his activism to another level by not standing for the national anthem. It had nothing to do about him looking relevant or looking attention. And as I said to Orville yesterday, that narrative about him looking attention was used by the white racists when they were seeking to discredit him. So I'm surprised that a man like Piney is repeating that kind of narrative. Where when you check the man's history, he has a history of being involved with these movements from before he was in college. He has been a social activist, and it's all tied up with the childhood that he had.
Yes.
Because he speaks of his parents, because he was adopted by a white family.
Yes.
And during his childhood, they would go for holidays, and when they check into the hotel, he said no matter how close he stood with his family, the manager always came over to him to ask him, "Can I help you?" They just never thought that he was part of the family, because he was obviously different from them. Right. So he has had to deal with racism, overt racism, all his life. So I think these people are doing Colin Kaepernick. I this credit this crediting is performed. Well, and I'm going to close by reciting a couple of accolades that he got in 2007. GQ Magazine Citizen of the Year, Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award, the American Civil Liberties Union Courageous Advocate Award, the Puffin Nation Prize for Creative Citizenship, Amnesty International 2018 International Citizens of Consciousness, and the Harvard University W. Du Bois Medal. Colin Kaepernick ain't nobody looking no attention. Colin Kaepernick deserves everything that he has, and he does not deserve what the NFL has done to him. All right.
We're going to leave it there, all for this. Thanks.
Yeah,
you have put it on the table, and the thing that you want people to read is The Awakening of Colin
Kaepernick, a New York Times article.
New York Times. All right. Yes. Thanks much. We'll leave it there. We'll go to the break.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Polyflex, Fastest Group of Companies, Dangel Auto Spares and Accessories Limited, and EdgeChem.
News now in cricket. James Anderson believes the game must be more active to combat discrimination and that current levels of inclusion from players of Afro-Caribbean heritage are just not okay. Anderson, the leading wicket-taker among seam bowlers in Test history, said that recent events, notably the death of George Floyd and the global reaction it has sparked, had caused him to reflect on his own experiences and question whether he had done enough to combat racism. And he revealed that the England team will talk about how they express their solidarity with Black Lives Matter's movements, possibly in conjunction with the West Indies team when the series between the sides begins in July. Anderson, who is 16 wickets short of the 600 mark in Test cricket and 41 short of the 1,000 mark in first-class cricket, said, "It's made me think, have I experienced racism on a cricket field? I couldn't remember any instances. I wasn't in New Zealand when Jofra Archer was racially abused, but it made me think, have I turned a blind eye to things?" Now that was your Sports in a Minute.
KLAS Sports FM 89 has just presented Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Polyflex, the home of foam since 1982, a member of the Morgans Group. Fastest Group of Companies, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people. Visit us at 77 to 79 Malines Road, 3 Cottage Road, 18 Fairview, Montego Bay, and 35 Ward Avenue, Mandeville. Dangel Auto Spares and Accessories Limited at 20 Balmoral Avenue, Kingston 10, and shop number 10, 1A Chapelton Road, May Pen, and EdgeChem for people who dream in color.
We are committed to the fight against doping in sport.
If you are committed to the fight against doping in sport, visit the JADCO website at jadco.gov.jm. We don't need dope to cope. A message from the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
All right, so at this time we have our WhatsApp text messages, and it is sponsored by Hawkeye Electronic Security, securing what matters most.
Woo! Text message.
It's now time for text messages on the sports desk.
All right, so this one says, Pine Action, I think it's time for you to let go of the Kaepernick argument. It's just not going well for you. You are sounding like your issue with Kaepernick is personal. This is Junior. So Junior saying to Pine Action that he doesn't agree with where he's going with that issue on Kaepernick. Second one says, Clyde Donahue here. Hi, Donahue. Have you heard any of the preliminary plans for the schoolboy football season? Moreover, for the possibility of a later start if there are further delays caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm sure 2 months is not enough time, so there must be a plan A or a plan B. Why isn't that not made public so we can know what ISA is planning or positing? The same question goes for Red Stripe Premier League season. I'm sure your club are very hesitant or even enter the season things normalize. Okay, so just to go back quickly, Donahue, what I've heard from ISA, Mr. Wellington and some of the school principals have said that while September is when the term is to start, it is likely that they'll probably get the schoolboy football season started in October, and it could be shortened. The format and the thing could be modified, and there'll be more discussions when they meet and will share publicly. As it goes to the Red Stripe Premier League, what was announced when about 3 or 4 weeks ago, when it was announced by JFF President Mike Ricketts, is that he said they would look at it for September. So that's what has been said. I know there's a PLCA meeting this afternoon. I know other discussions, as we see on the front page of the Gleaner today. Many of the parishes, all of the parishes, will be discussing what is just being circulated in the last couple of days of the plans of the technical committee to go forward. So we go back to this one that said, what does it matter when the activism start? At least the man is awakened. Pine Action and Highgate need awakened. You all don't know who this man Colin is. Sir Clyde, if this man doesn't get in trouble with the law, he will be a black hero. Well, let's see how those things go. But your point is there. We go to another one here that says, Pinus said what the caller Old Fort is saying about Kaepernick stats is garbage. In 2016, he started 11 games and won 1. That's a fact. The team ended the season 2 wins and 14 losses. Name a quarterback of that status going to free agency that return the next year as a starter. So this is discussing and saying Old Fortis response is not as good. We go back to the callers, but just want to give credit to our sponsors for the WhatsApp section, and that's Hawkeye Electronic Security, securing what matters most. Let's go back to our callers. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the sports desk.
Sir Clive.
Yes, sir.
Badger here.
Badger the Great. What's up?
Oh, well, man. I was going to go today, though, but St. Diego and Manfanafar, they sound the way them reason and they talk about things. They sound like they're some elders, right? And so, like I say, I try to respect the elders.
Okay.
And be sure, right? We people put forward their points and so on, and we take it on, or we agree with it or disagree with it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is. How we discuss sports, right? But some things, to go and say that a man must study his ground when he's talking utter rubbish. It's like, and at a time like this, when we see our life, black people life and so on, and then the movement it grows from strength to strength. I don't think anybody should encourage anybody to talk down against a black man when he started whatever and how we started. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This to me encouraging a sporting debate now. You understand? You're gonna ask why a black man never started taking up for black people before. In my text, I say why Bob Marley never sing them song them saying with those songs. They call it redemption songs and those songs for black people. Until he meet up on Peter Touch and Bunny Wailer. He was singing "See My Dog" and some little other more. Yeah?
All three of them were singing those initial songs.
Yeah. You understand? So something can awaken something in somebody, boss man.
Yes.
Malcolm X never started him thing until he got prison. He was an hustler in the street of New York. You understand what I'm saying? So if the only thing that you can say is that why never started before, that don't make no sense, big man. The man start and the man take up for black life, for our rights and so on. And say it's because them not go through where most people are go through in America. That's why them can't talk. You understand what I'm saying? Because this for me to ask why never start from long time is beside the point. You understand? And people are pointing out to him that yes, the man started from long time and he was doing what he could before now. So why is this question still lingering? Why never start? And to say that no, the man only that because he was trying to look favor because he lose a job and that's a madness. People tell him say being the second string quarterback. If he sat on the bench, him that still get $5 million per year. I saw them tell me no.
Yes.
I know about me. If me can sit up on that bench and get $5 million, yeah, me I sit up on the bench, boss man. You understand what I'm saying?
Because when you standing up on the field, nobody not paying you a red cent.
Hold on, him can't go out there and get tackled. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this, boss man. The man could have opted to do that. The man and it was said that they came to him and said, listen, we get what you're saying now. Stop it now, and you can get back your job or whatever. And the man said no, same way. You understand? So listen, man from afar and St. Diego, don't encourage the man with no foolishness, boss man. I know why only doing it, all because people like me and other people are beating me now. That's why when I come and said, finally, a point national, like you resilient, stand your grounds or whatever, what have you. Don't say they're going for no foolishness, boss man. If talk about some sports thing and then you can say opinion about it. I remember one time, I call this program, and I talk about Tapper Whitmore. And I said Tapper Whitmore it's not really coach, it's Jerry. And them same one beat me, They never tell me say me must stand my grounds or whatever, You understand? And so on, So no, them tell the man to stand them grounds with foolishness. And some people alone must stand them grounds. Boss man, what the man is saying don't make any sense. It is not called for this time. And so and boss man, this time is no time to tell no man to stand him grounds for talking down or talking about a black man or any man at all who is doing something to uplift your race, boss man. It don't make any sense.
All right, cool. So that was Badger there standing his ground as to San Diego and man from afar standing their ground and Pioneer. And we're going to agree to disagree from time to time. Let's go to our next caller and see what's on their mind. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the sports desk.
Mr. Gerardini.
G-Star, how you do?
I'm doing good. You can hear me clearly?
Hear you loud and clearly.
All right. I can second what Buzz just said in terms of, I don't know if certain man just never really got through it, right? I guess I can tell you a quick story and go on to basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Giardini, when I was a little youth, I used to live in Toronto, maybe about 15, 16, right? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm coming home and I'm on a bicycle, right?
Yes.
I don't live in the greatest, I never used to live in the greatest area, but it's Toronto. It's still a nice place to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so a police park up on the side of the road, right? And I'm riding my bicycle. I remember 16-year-old at my youth. What them do is they flash the light, hit the sirens, and call me over, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I had a choice. I could have run, or I could just deal with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I chose to deal with them. But you know what they told me, Mr. Giardini?
What?
They told me, and a totally innocent youth, they told me if I had run, they would have caught, if they had caught me, they would beat the S out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why should a 16-year-old youth who is legally allowed to be on the road at 4 o'clock in the morning and is only going home should have to deal with that? My point is, I'm a big man now. That ended up light. But a lot of our kids, and even your grandchildren or your kids, if they go to the U.S., you don't want them to deal with that.
No.
That is the whole point to know. We don't want our kids and our grandchildren to deal with that, even though we went through it. We're trying to have a better day for our kids and our grandchildren.
Yes.
So that is what Kaepernick is really trying to do. Create a better future. Anyway,
Second point.
moving on to what we did, what we were talking about, Mr. Giardini.
Yes.
Now, you see how the JFF flopped the whole league?
Yes.
Conversely, in the NBA, with the Board of Governors, they decided what happened with the league. Remember, I told you we need a Board of Governors because the JFF should never be able to decide what happens in the local league.
Pause with us for a moment, G-Star. We'll go to the break. We'll come right back to you to finish up.
Yes, sir.
Are you prepared? June 1 to November 30 is the Atlantic hurricane season. And it's very important for you to take precautions. Join KLAS Sports FM 89 every day at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 4 p.m. as we present Hurricane Tips. Don't get caught off guard. Be sure to listen and make the right move this hurricane season. Hurricane Tips is sponsored by
Chlorado Bleach. The ultimate is Chlorado Clean.
Sports fans, in these difficult national circumstances, with time on your hands, KLAS, your number one sports station, will fill all your sporting needs. KLAS Sports FM 89 will continue our daily high-quality programs. Sports Desk, Daily Word, Daily Weekdays, and Late Edition, Daily Weekdays. KLAS will now produce 2 specials weekly. Timeout, Wednesdays 9 a.m. to midday, to be repeated on Saturdays. And Memory Lane, Sundays 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We continue our scheduled international offerings daily. KLAS Sports, the home of champions. We never let you down in sport.
On air, online, or on your mobile, it's sports on KLAS Sports FM 89. Hear live sports in action on the BBC Sports Today, 12:30 p.m. weekdays, and the BBC Sports World for your latest interviews and analysis from around the world. The BBC Sports World, this and every Saturday and Sunday morning on KLAS Sports FM 89.
You're listening to KLAS Sports FM 89, your number one sports radio station, the rhythm of the people.
You're listening to Jamaica's only daytime sports call-in talk show, The Sports Desk, on KLAS Sports FM 89.
Okay, so we're back on a terrific Thursday afternoon on the Sports Desk. Clyde Journey, your host, as we go to the last furlong. We have G-Star online. We have some birthday wishes and some important points we have to touch and go to other callers. G-Star, finish up first, quickly, please.
So we're talking about the franchise system, Mr. Giardini.
Yes, you are.
And we went in the benefits from before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go down in the let's just say the proposal or the blueprint, whatever you want to call it, a little further down, right?
Yes.
Now, a major reason of a franchise system that I want us to get to Jamaica is a draft. A draft. Mr. Giardini, would you go to war and shoot yourself in the foot? Of course not. So if you have a league like what we have in Jamaica without a draft system, if we're really trying to build something, if you don't have a shoot in your foot without going to war, let's look at the NFL. During the COVID time, do you know that the draft was the biggest draft that they've ever had in the history of the NFL?
Why?
Because everybody was home. One, that's the real reason. Because everybody was home, right?
It's an unusual circumstance.
Yeah, but still though, my point is still ultra popular. It's the second biggest date on their calendar after the Super Bowl.
That's your point.
And I'm saying
that it gives a hump for marketing, promotion, and expectation leading in.
It's a huge marketing tool. And I'm saying we have a built-in system where the high school league is the biggest league in Jamaica.
No,
I don't know who the best high school player is.
No, G-Star. And the quicker you and the JFF and that comes out of the mind, the high school system in Jamaica is not responsible for football development. And
no,
that
I
is
didn't say it was.
No. But I don't want the mistake to be included and accepted. The clubs are the basis, and until this structure for major change proposal for local football has the clubs at the base, all the clubs in the parishes, and I'm being told that the JFF is to make this decision by next Tuesday, and 2 or 3 of the 14 parishes are just getting it. So it hasn't even been discussed yet. And there's about 5 documents. It needs to be read, discussed, questioned in depth. What's the rush of doing it?
I hear you, Mr. Journey, but what I'm saying, though, right?
Let's pick it up next week, G-Star. You have posited the concept, and we can go from there. Pick it up next week, and we'll talk more. Thanks much. That was G-Star. Let's go to our other callers. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the sports desk.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Journey.
Good afternoon. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this is
Andre. If just give a special birthday greeting that somebody called to Mr. Henry Williams of Penance in Clarendon from his son Mega Banton. Special happy birthday wishes has come in. Go ahead, Andre.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to weigh my view on the whole Kaepernick thing.
Yes.
First, no, I don't know much about Kaepernick as the footballer, but what, irrespective
Kaepernick
of
as a
his
footballer?
motive, yeah, I mean American footballer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because American football, right?
NFL.
So yeah, but irrespective of his motive, I don't think we should even. That's even secondary to me. What I'm interested in is his outcome and what the sort of fire that has been ignited by lighting, that as a result of what he has done. So to me, his motive is secondary as far as I'm concerned. Right? Now, a lot of persons are thinking that the whole Black Lives Matter is just about the killing of black men by white police officers. But it is far more than that. It is the other form of racial injustices that Americans actually face on a day-to-day basis. When you talk about the injustices of not having the same opportunity in terms of education, in terms of housing, right? So those are, when it comes down to the killing, that is just a microcosm of the bigger picture. So I don't want persons to lose the whole idea and to lose it that the Black Lives Matter movement is much more than brutality of black men by white, right? So what the whole Black Lives Matter, and in this case in particular, what has done with the George Floyd killing is that it has ignited a movement right across the world.
That's correct.
Where persons have, we have seen a lot of changes right across the world.
And that consciousness, Andre, while it has started with that, and Kaepernick and other sports persons, and we go back to the days of Jesse Owens, even the 33 Olympics and what that racist response that he got, that cold shoulder, and many others. But what it has really done is reach into people's heart, their souls, and to their minds to see where there's inequality, where there's indignity, where there's disrespect, and where disregard. Because you see young white people, young brown people, young Caucasian, Asians, you see people of different race, color, creed, age, sex, religion, everything across the board. It's injustice generally. That is much like the One Love Bob Marley song reached out across the world in its time and touched the card.
Touched the heart.
Yeah.
And as I said to a friend the other day, this whole coronavirus might have been a blessing in disguise where this is concerned, where the whole racial, because I mean, persons who would not normally have time to go protest or to really look into things.
And to listen and to think.
And to listen and think.
Yes.
Then you got enough time now to sit back those persons, other persons who are not working now, get enough time to, I didn't know that this was happening all along.
Yes.
So it might have been a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
And I think it is a watershed moment where racial injustices are concerned. You understand?
And the consciousness of sports people, just because we want to bring it a little closer into this little niche that we are in. So sports people have to think more and act more and be more responsible. Don't just perform. You have to think as well. And you have to be somebody with a mind and a conscience and a heart.
So this debate about Kaepernick did it for some ulterior motive. That is pretty much secondary, you know. So it's not, to me, it shouldn't even be a debate. That is secondary.
But
to
it
the
might
outcome of what is happening.
It might spark the discussion to go on to greater things in the same way, Andrew. So let's talk it, because that's the start. But let's see how far we can
No,
go
what I
with
mean
it.
secondary, no. What I mean is motive. The person's arguing what his motive really is.
Understand.
To me, that is secondary.
I understand.
Yes.
Much
Yes,
thanks,
one more
Andrew.
thing before.
Go quickly.
Yes,
Go
one
quickly.
more thing before I go. Yes. The Andy Roberts thing. No, Andy Roberts. I read
Andy
today
Roberts.
where
Yes.
where he said that it's $1 billion. The $3 billion loan from the English Cricket Board is actually money that is actually due to us from the ICC, but that money is not due until next month. So the CEO, Mr. Grave, came out today and said that England just gave them money, no interest to it, and it is totally independent. Them going to England has nothing to do with the loan. The loan that was given by the English Cricket Board. So that money is the money that will be given back.
Okay. We'll look on that and we'll follow up on that, Andrew. Thanks much. Keep in touch with us.
Yes, Mr. Jordan. Thank
Much
you.
thanks. I was Andrew there. We'll go to our next call online. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Hello. Good. Yes, good afternoon. Hope you're here. We'll go right ahead.
Good afternoon. Malcolm X here.
Malcolm X. All right. You have a militant name. Yes, Malcolm X.
All right. What go on now? I know that sports deck. I know that sports deck. And we're supposed to call and discuss about sports. But I'm gonna tell you something.
You're getting an echo. You're near a radio or something.
We're
getting a feedback.
Sound better?
We're getting a feedback. We're hearing you twice. So I'm not sure if you're close to somewhere or something. Turn on behind you. Go ahead, Malcolm X.
You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
All right. As I'm saying that you have some person who probably never experienced race attack before.
Okay.
I'm an ex-farm worker. Right?
Yes.
And in Canada, I've experienced attack, physically, race attack. And where persons see us as farm workers.
Yes.
I remember one time, one Friday, we get paid and we went to the supermarket. 4 bus load of us, which was 80 of us. And when the bus was, when we drive on the premise and we started to unload, some kids started to run and scream, and the parents run, come out, and after that, they say, Mommy, monkeys. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, I'm one who stand up for it. And I mean, I remember even never getting in trouble for it, but I stand up on this. I say, we got Jamaica, because I'm not really sit down in this. I have a lot of us who sit down in it and say, I not say nothing because I don't want to lose my work. I not say nothing because I don't. I'm going to tell you something. Even every year we have more than 12,000 persons going on farmers, and every year we have persons, at least 4 or 3 persons who've been killed by white people in America, in Canada. They just don't like us. They hit us off for a bicycle, anything at all. If we talk to them, one white girl, them pass and them take around them mob way. You understand what I'm saying? So at some point in time, somebody has to stand up, somebody has to say something, somebody has to do something. And if it's in the sports and somebody in the sports arena has to stand up, and whether I'm black or I'm white, and stand up and say enough is enough. But I'm tell you, as far as I'm see it will never stop, because you have some persons who are black and decided that they will never say nothing at all to it. They will just once it's not happening to them, they don't really care about it. The other day, somebody said, finally, Michael Jordan come say something. Now, Michael Jordan is one of the most richest and populous black man, and he never talk out.
Well, it brought him to the fore, and we look like we have to end on that note. Thank you, Malcolm X, and thank you all for participating in a terrific Thursday edition on the Sports Desk. Clyde Giardini, your host, as we come to the afternoon. Tomorrow, Orville and Christopher Zidane matches on the set. For this evening, we're on the Sports Desk. Clyde Giardini, we're over and we're out.
You've just participated in the Sports Desk, Jamaica's #1 daytime sports call and talk show on KLAS Sports FM 89.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents a Hurricane Tip. It's sponsored by Chlorado Bleach. The ultimate clean is Chlorado Clean.
After the hurricane. Your hurricane survival kit should include food. Store at least a 7-day supply of non-perishable food. Select foods that require no refrigeration, preparation, or cooking, and little or no water. These types of foods include ready-to-eat canned meats, cereals, fruits and vegetables, canned juices, and crackers.
KLAS Sports FM 89 has just presented a hurricane tip. It was sponsored by Chlorado Bleach. The ultimate clean is Chlorado Clean.
Jumpstart your fitness goals with 1 month free at Express Fitness. Just sign up, renew, or unfreeze your gym membership by June 19th, and we'll add 1 free month to whatever plan you choose. No strings attached. Grab the offer at Halfway Tree Manor Center or Ligony today. Call 554-5180 or check our social media pages for more info. Jumpstart your way to your fitness goals today with Express Fitness.
KLAS Sports FM 89 now presents a health alert.
Use bleach